This is Bruce Buffer, and this is the moment you've all been waiting for. It's time for the MMA-Holes!
Mixed martial a-holes. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes. You like to be a mixed martial a-hole. MMA-Holes, 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 MMA-Holes.
No way.
From the Queen Studios of New York, we have Kaleb Harris, we have Jason the Kid Knight talking bare knuckle FC 9 with the MMA-Holes. Yeah, Jesse, you ready?
I'm ready, Mom.
All right.
Wonderful.
How are you feeling, Jesse?
Wonderful.
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 Ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic show for you tonight. This is TGIW. And what episode are we on? Episode 46 we're on, Jesse.
Yeah,
right?
I think so.
Episode number 46. Let me change that up. I hope everyone in the chat is wonderful. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a pleasant surprise for you tonight. The Bare Knuckle FC 9 GOAT, Jason the Kid Knight. Jason Knight, welcome back onto the show.
Man, you better back up. You don't go to sleep. Man, you need to back up.
So,
Dude.
I don't know if you just heard that. That was a donation
Take
here.
a second to acknowledge Michael Fredo Anzalone, the timestamp king of the MMA Holes. And if you are the praying type, send prayers up to Mikey or just best wishes for his recovery.
Thank you very
Get well, bro.
Appreciate that donation. We're going to stop the donations, and at the end of the interview, we'll throw them back on there. We have Jason the Kid Knight, and shout out to Michael Anzalone, who is a big supporter of the show. He's actually in the hospital right now, so prayers to Michael Anzalone. I hope you get better very soon. Jason, how's it going tonight? Yeah, Michael.
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good, man. One of my buddies, we decided we're gonna go out and shoot some pool, go to a little pool hall down the road, and just get it.
Sounds like a good time. You're going to be shooting some pool with the boys. It's going to be, I mean, listen, you have a lot to celebrate. I mean, that huge win this weekend against Artem Lobov, you have to be on cloud 9 right now.
Oh, yeah, man. You know, I'm excited. You know, not really so much about the win. Yeah, of course, I'm glad I got the win. But I'm just, I'm more excited about the fact that I got to go out there and fight the way that I was supposed to fight. And, you know, I didn't lose my head. I did exactly what I planned on doing. And the game plan worked out greatly. And, you know, at the end of the day, I got to glorify God because of it.
There you go. I mean, what a performance that night. And I have to say this. I mean, listen, I know you're very close with Artem now. It seems like you guys are real tight. And I guess if you go to war with a guy like that twice, 2 big wars, you got to have some sort of bond between the two. But with that win on Saturday, you have defeated a GOAT. So I say this makes you the new GOAT, Jason. How do you feel about that?
I'm far from that. You know, I don't like people making fun of me. You know, I think that's a lot of where Artem's name came from. You know, everybody making fun of him and stuff, and then you know, he just ran with it. But you know, I think to get that title, you gotta earn it. You know, if my name was GSP, I'd be glad with being called the GOAT.
So what about the Bare Knuckle FC GOAT? How about that? I mean, you had 2 fantastic performances. The first one was very close, and the second one, you knocked out a man who has, you could say what you want about Artem's record. I mean, the guy's never been knocked out before. So, I mean, to put a guy down like that is extremely impressive. So what about Bare Knuckle FC being on top of the game over there? How you feel about that?
Yeah, I'm definitely on top of the game, I believe. You know, I don't think that I still haven't really earned the title like the GOAT, but hopefully one day. But you know, I'm excited about, you know, just all the possibilities that are in front of me. you see that everybody was calling Artem out because he's quote unquote the GOAT. He's done 1-2 bare knuckle fights. He's got all this steam behind his name. But now I just stole every bit of that.
Well, I got to say this. You got into this fight, and it was fantastic to watch. It really was. What a difference between the first one and the second one. You stuck to the game plan. You were extraordinarily tactical in this fight. And it was almost like a masterpiece from beginning to end, watching the way you were striking, the confidence that you displayed in this fight. What was the difference going into this one compared to the first one?
For one, I kept it in my head all training camp that I was not going to fight the same way. I made sure that I kept thinking about that. All the mistakes that I made in the first fight, and just throwing my whole game plan out the window. I made sure that I was not going to do that, and no matter what, I told myself that. And then that night, there were several times that I questioned, if I was going to do it the way I was supposed to, and should I do this? What if he does this? Thoughts started coming through my head, and every time they did, I'd be like, "Dear Lord, I beg you, please just take this away. In Jesus' name, I pray. Take the negative thoughts away. I know that's just the devil. Help me out. Help me go in here and fight at the best of my ability. Let me know in my heart that I'm gonna fight at the best of my ability." And by the time I got in that ring, after saying that 1,000 times that night, by the time I got in that ring, I knew in my heart that no matter what happened, no matter how good he cracked me or any of that, I wasn't gonna get wild. I was gonna stick to my game plan, and it was gonna work. I just had the utmost confidence that I was going to get my hand raised, and I wasn't walking out of there without that.
You looked incredibly confident in that fight, and what I noticed, and maybe I'm seeing things differently here, but it looked like Artem Lobov wasn't as confident in this fight. I don't know, maybe I'm going crazy here, but the first time he seemed like he was trying to take your head off, and this time he seemed a little bit more nervous because he knew what to expect in this fight over here. Did you find anything different in the way Artem took his approach to the fight?
No, right at the beginning of the fight, it seemed like he was going to come hard, he was going to fight hard, and then I cracked him a few times, and then I disappeared. I cracked him and I disappeared. I cracked him and then I disappeared. And then after that, it was like he didn't really know exactly what to do. He didn't know whether to run in or to stay back and try to counter, because if he stayed back and tried to counter, I would come inside, I would get to my range, I would throw my shots, and I would get back out of range. If he came at me, I would back up a few steps, angle off, land a few shots. And, that was the game plan. That's what I was supposed to do. But I think he was just having trouble trying to figure it out, how to shut that game plan down. And, the way I look at it is there was no way, there was no, final piece to the puzzle. He wasn't going to figure it out because, that game plan works against him. If he comes forward, I go back a few steps, angle off, hit him. The only thing I think he could have done any different was just run in and try to clinch with me. But I beat him up in the clinch the last time, so I don't think he wanted to do that.
Yeah, we're live with Jason the Kid Knight. Big win on Saturday night, Bare Knuckle FC 9. And I'm excited to have you back on over here. I mean, the confidence that you displayed, the tactical striking was fantastic to watch. Now, we noticed that your hand, you had a cut on your knuckles, and watching from the seats at home, it looked like you broke your hand, but you didn't break it, correct? What happened to your hand? What was it, after the second round?
I believe it was the second round, yes.
I don't know if you could hear us over here. He's on the way to the pool hole, so we're going to see if we can. There we go. All right, Jason, you're back with us. Do you hear us right now? No, it's cutting in and out. Pool hole reception. All right, Jason, do you hear us now? All right, we're live with Jason the Kid Knight. Bare Knuckle FC 9 main event, defeated Artem Lobov, knocked him out in the 5th round. And we're having some technical difficulties. He's on his way to the pool hole. And we're reconnecting right now.
Probably hit a dead zone.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's in Mississippi, right? So, might be a little...
well, he's driving.
I don't know how the towers are over there. Is this Felony Street?
It's not like a desolate land. It's not like... There's still towers there, Mark.
I don't know. Do they have towers? I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Jason, we deserve better. Shout out to the incarcerated people. Did he crash? Well, that would be something, right? Hopefully he did not crash.
If you want to
I'll try to get him back on the horn.
change scenes before you hang up and then try again,
I could do that, Jess.
so you don't give away his.
I sure can do that. All right, let's get him back on the line. This is what Ariel Helwani goes with. You know, this is Skype issues, but, you know, it's part of the game. All right, let's lower that. Anyway, look at the countdown to UFC 245. All right, so we're going to try to get him back on the line over here. Jason Knight, if you have any questions, drop it in the chat as there are some technical difficulties. And, yeah, he's a busy man.
Here he is.
Oh, here we go. There we go. All right, we're back in business.
Sorry, man. We good to go now? Can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I hear you good. Excellent.
All right, I had to hook up to my buddy's hotspot. We're in the sticks. We're out here in the country, man, and that's how it goes sometimes.
I bet. All right, well, we'll squeeze in a couple of questions here, and we'll let you go on your way. We were talking about the knuckle situation, your hand. It looked to us sitting at home, it looked like you broke it, but that wasn't the case, right? What happened? Did you cut your hand?
Oh, shit.
And there it is. Look at this. Damn,
yeah,
that's
I cut that knuckle right there to the bone.
Ugh.
And man, since the fight, it has felt like I smashed it with a hammer, and that's kind of crazy because, you know, I guess in a way I kind of did, but it's horrible, man. If I hold it up here by my chest, I'm good.
Mhm.
But if I let it down, for some reason it just starts throbbing. But, you know, I went to the doctor, got some antibiotics, and, you know, hopefully that'll knock it out, because I guess, you know, just from I think his teeth went through his bottom lip, and that's what cut my hand. So I guess just from the teeth, I started getting infected or whatever.
Oh, man.
You smashed it with the Russian hammer.
Yeah, the Russian hammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much about right there. Now, this happened, what was it, after the second round, I believe this happened, or?
Yeah, it was the last two punches of the second round. He got pretty close. So I clenched the back of his head, and I threw two good uppercuts. And as soon as I landed them, I felt that, like, I guess his tooth went through his lip or something, and it went right into my damn finger.
Oh, shit. It was funny. We were watching this, and we're like, oh, no, I can't believe this. He broke his hand so early. Now, this is fairly early in the fight. I noticed you were calling for a doctor or something like that to be in the corner, or what were you yelling? We couldn't really hear.
No, the referee, he said that he pulled us back off the scratch line, and he said that I can't start this fight without a doctor. You know, I need a doctor that's ringside. You know, that I guess that's like some kind of rules of the athletic commission, that you can't, you know what I'm saying, you can't start the fight without a doctor ringside. And the reason I was screaming for a doctor is because I wanted him to hurry up and get the fight back going. You know, I'm ahead, I'm winning, you know, I'm doing good. Don't throw me off my game. Get this back rolling, you know, so that I can get back to work. And whenever we go into that third round, man, I think, you know, I could have finished him earlier, but when we were going to the third round, I hit him once or twice in the face with this right hand, and it started instantly. You know, I could feel it. I could feel every time that I hit him, I felt like I was breaking that knuckle, because it was just like bone on bone, I guess. And after that, I started trying to go to the body a lot more instead of trying to punch him in the face with my right hand.
We noticed that over here, too. We were wondering, because we didn't know if it was broken or not, what the situation was. But it did seem like Artem realized that, oh, hey, his hand's hurt. Let's try to bring it to him a little bit here. But that wasn't the case. When you started working the body, he was backing up some more. How do you change that game plan when you don't know if your hand is broken or not? Is it just instinct? Did your corner tell you, hey, start working the body? How did that work out?
You know, it was just after, like, we had planned to work the body a lot more this fight in training camp as well. You know, that was the plan, is, you know, sometimes go to the head, sometimes go to the body. But you know, once I hurt my hand, I just swapped it up right then. You know, I hit him in the face once or twice. I was like, oh, that sucks. Let's try the body, see if it doesn't hurt as bad. And it didn't, you know, for sure. Every time I hit the body, it was nowhere near as bad as if I connected with like his cheekbone or something, you know.
Okay.
Or especially, I think there was once I punched him in the forehead after that, and oh my God, it was rough.
I can only imagine. I mean, even with adrenaline pumping through your body, when your hand is that injured like that, it can't feel good at all. Did you hear? I mean, the crowd seemed like they were really fired up over there. Did it seem like the crowd was the one that, I mean, they were really picking you up as your hand was hurting over and going deep into the fight? Did you feel that the crowd gave you a little bit more oomph?
Yeah, they always do. That's 90% of them's family and friends. I know a lot of people from Mississippi. A lot of people know me, and I've had that same fan base for 10 years now. Since I was 15, 16 years old, some of these people have been coming and watching me, and I love it. But the thing that really helped me out, especially going into that 5th round, I don't know if you've seen it, but 3rd and 4th round I kind of slowed down a little bit. I wasn't really firing near as much as I really wanted to. But if you see coming into that 5th round, I was throwing them things. I was throwing fast and trying to land some punches. I didn't care about that hand anymore. But going into the 5th round, I was leaned up on the ropes and I was telling my coach, like, damn, man, that hand hurts. Every time I hit him in the face, it hurts. He said, oh, you want me to stop the fight?
Oh, wow.
He was just joking, but he looked at me and was like, you want me to stop the fight? I was like, hell no. He's like, are you worried about that hand? I was like, no, we good, man. We good. And basically that was my coach's way of telling me, I don't give a damn about that hand. Go out there and take him out. Give it all you got this round. This is your last round. Who gives a damn about that hand? And that's what I did, man. It just kind of lit a fire inside of me. Like, I got to go out here and let them go. And all it took really was one good shot to land, and it hit that eye. I guess it was just like an accumulation of damage to his eye. Yeah. And I don't know if maybe it broke the orbital bone or it's just that cut. He had like 3 cuts right there. I think maybe the cuts just got so bad he went down for pain.
It was something else. It was something else to watch. Now, did you know at the time that he has never been knocked out before?
No, he still hasn't been knocked out. In my opinion, I didn't knock him out. I finished him. Mm-hmm. I don't know if he's ever been finished before or not, but I finished him. I'm pretty proud of that, I guess, because in the last fight, man, that is one of the toughest dudes I've ever met in my life. We took a lot of damage, and I thought that in the last fight I would be able to get him away like that eventually, but he took everything.
We're live with Jason the Kid Knight after his big victory over Artem Lobov, and it was some performance here at Bare Knuckle FC 9. Now, the question everyone's asking is, what is next? I noticed Jim Aller's coming into the ring. Everyone wants a piece of Jason the Kid Knight. You have the trilogy with Artem Lobov as well. Where is your mind right now, after a couple of days after this fight? Where would you like yourself?
I would really like to fight a bigger name. I don't care who it is. I called Paulie out in a boxing match, and Paulie said he's down to do it if we can find a promoter to do that. I would just like to. I want to find somebody that's really going to test my skills, not somebody who's going to test my toughness. Mm. Jim Allers, I've got to fight that man. I got to test the toughness, and of course I'm going to try to use my skills too. But he's just going to come in there like a bull, same as Artem. I think it'll be a lot of the same fight. I make it through the first 30 seconds, and then I'll pick him apart. I beat Jim Allers in the UFC, and I took his best shots already, so I don't see why I couldn't do it again. But, that from Artem Lobov to Jim Allers, popularity-wise, that's a step down. And, I want to find bigger name guys that, help me grow in my career, not guys that are potential. If it's a potential loss, then all that does is, oh man, you got beat by some nobody. Mm-hmm. I mean, Jim Allers did make it to the UFC. He was a great fighter, but Artem Lobov's got like 400 and something thousand followers on Instagram. Jim Allers has like 5,000 followers, and none of that really matters that much. But at the same time, I'm trying to get the bigger and better paychecks, and I believe that bare knuckle or anybody's gonna want to pay me less to fight Jim Allers.
You got to think the ball's in your court right now. I was thinking the same thing over here. Jim Allers, a lot of people still don't even know who he is, and you beat him already, so it doesn't make any sense with the ball in your court. Now, a trilogy with Artem seems interesting, but I was thinking about it doesn't make sense for Artem, because if he takes another L here, I think his stock drops tremendously. I don't know if you agree with this. I mean, if he takes an L against you again, I mean, what is next for Artem Lobov. So I think it'd be a very risky fight for him. But for you, I think it would be a fantastic fight. I know you beat him the second time. Some people thought you beat him the first time, but money-wise, the money is there for that fight. Would you be interested in entertaining a third with Artem?
Yeah, I would definitely entertain a third, but I don't want that to be my next fight. But I mean, if that's what he wants, then I respect the man. I'll give him what he wants. But honest to God, man, I don't believe Artem's gonna want to fight again. I feel like I completely outclassed him in that fight. There were several times that his coaches were screaming at him, "You gotta go, Artem! You gotta go! Press forward, Artem!" I would scream back at him, "Yeah, come on, Artem, go! Close the distance!" Because they would be screaming, "Close the distance, Artem!" I'm like, "Yeah, close that distance, Artem!"
Wow.
Because I knew that you close that distance, I'm just to pepper your ass up, and I feel like he knew that too, and I think that he really has to go back to the drawing board and figure something else out. Because if he fights me the same way a third time, it's going to be a lot more of the same thing that happened in the second fight. But I'm only getting better from here on out.
Do you feel that this is the most comfortable you've ever been competing at a high level in this? I mean, any sport, mixed martial arts or boxing, bare knuckle?
Yeah, man. Honestly, in that fight, I felt like the ball was in my court. I felt like no matter what, I was winning. I felt like he could touch me, and I knew that my feet were planted firmly. I knew that I wasn't getting flat-footed. I knew that I was on the balls of my feet at all times, never crossing my feet. I knew that that's the whole reason I failed so many times in the first round, because I got flat-footed. I let my feet get crossed, and I could take every punch that he throws at me if my feet aren't crossed up. So I knew that, he hit me 3 or 4 times with really good shots, and each one was right on the chin. And I walked through them like they didn't, faze me. He hit me once. I take that back. He hit me with more than 3 or 4 good shots, but one of them was right in that Adam's apple, boy. I thought I swallowed my Adam's apple, and then Sunday it was like I was swallowing a damn pine cone or something.
Damn. Man, I don't want to be swallowing no pine cone over there. We're live with. It doesn't sound like it feels good at all. I'm gonna now. I mean, this fight was something else. I could ask you a million questions about this fight, and but the real fight we want to talk about is this mysterious video that popped up, and I'm sure you spoke about this a million times. Inside a bathroom stall against 2 guys over here. I mean, one of the most badass things I've ever seen. The last time you were on, I was like, I wish I could be half the man that you are, a quarter of the man you are when it comes to being a badass. And then this video pops up. I'm like, holy shit, you fought 2 guys off at a bar or a club. Tell me about this story.
Man, I went out to the club with some of my buddies, probably 2 weeks before Christmas last year, and I had a few drinks, and I swear to goodness on my kids and everything, I was not drunk. I had maybe a slight little buzz. But I walked into the stall, I walked in the bathroom, going to take a leak. I told my buddies I was going to the bathroom, I'll be right back. Had 10 of us there, but I thought I was just going to take a leak. But anyways, I get in there, and the guy beside me, he's over here complaining about his girlfriend, girlfriend or wife, whatever it was. I don't know what he was even saying about her, but at the club, that's not really what you do. So I was just like, F his girlfriend, just joking, thinking, there's 30 people in the bathroom, somebody's going to laugh about it.
Yeah.
And no, they didn't think it was funny, but I get through, I'm sitting there peeing, and the next thing you know, my stall door gets snatched open. I get done, I turn around, these 2 guys are standing at the stall door, and there's 7 people behind them holding up their cameras, ready to record it and watch me get punked out. And I was just like, hey, man, you need to back up. You finna go your ass to sleep. I know, dude, when I turned around, dude was like, what you say about his wife? I said, hey, man, you need to back up. You finna go to sleep. And then his buddy's like, I bet you won't say that to his face. I said, you can back up or you can go to sleep too. And then they went into saying what they're going to do about me or whatever they're going to do to me and everything. And I kind of looked at the little guy and shrugged my shoulders, and I hit the big guy. I hit him with 4 punches, and he rushed in, put his head in my chest and pushed me back to the toilet. I was sitting on the toilet seat. I was trying to get my right hand free because he kind of bear hugged me. Finally, I got that right hand free, and start popping the little guy because he hit me with 3 or 4 good punches while I was held up.
Damn
But
it.
he hit me with three or 4 good punches. I got that right hand free, and I start popping him over the top of the other guy. And then before it was over with, both of them had their head down, trying to gouge my eyes out. Just basically trying to get me to stop hitting them. And the bouncers came in a few seconds later and stopped the fight. And I was like, hey, they come in my stall. And then he was like, that's cool. It's all right. I know they came in there. I was like, it's cool, though. I worked them boys. I worked both of them. And I got there, and they're kicking me out. And all my buddies come out wanting to know what happened. I told him I got in a fight. I was like, man, I whooped both them boys, blah, blah, blah. And I had like a little bitty scratch, like right in the corner of my eyeball. I don't know if it's from a punch or them trying to eye gouge me or what. But I had a little scratch, so my eye was a little bloody and my eye was a little fat. And when I was telling everybody that I won, you could tell they was like, I don't know, like you could tell they didn't really believe me. I was like, I'm telling y'all I won, blah, blah, blah. Well, then the next day, my boy Brock Weaver, he messages me, and he's like, what's up, bro? He said, I saw you work 2 fools at the club last night on Snapchat. I was like, did you really? I was like, man, send me that video. And, he sent me the video. I went around showing all my buddies. I was like, man, I told y'all I won. And, you could, once I showed them, they was like, oh, yeah, you did win. You could tell that I had it in my head, I'm thinking, well, maybe they don't believe me. But because they all said, yeah, they thought they believed me or whatever. They act like they believed me. But once I showed them the video, you could clearly tell that, no, they thought I got my ass kicked.
It's hysterical. I mean, I bet you could watch that video over and over again. It's so freaking funny to watch. I mean, it's insane. Well, who opened someone's bathroom stall? Like, it was the guy's girlfriend that you were talking to, or was it some other 2 schmucks coming over?
Yeah, the guy who I was talking to, I guess, the guy said somebody's girlfriend, him and one of his buddies come in. Honestly, I think that it was like a bunch of sorority kids in the bathroom because when I turned around, I said for sorority, never mind, that's females. But yeah, frat boys or whatever.
Same thing, yeah.
No, I never went to college. My bad.
Yeah.
But anyway, I turned around. And I'm pretty sure it was frat boys because they all seemed like they was buddies because it was like there were 7 of them holding up phones already ready. It was like they done discussed this before it ever happened, and it's like they was ready to get their 2 buddies punking me out or beating me up. You know what I'm saying?
It's funny. I was saying this to her too. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why would everyone pull out their phones? Usually, if I'm in a bar or something like that, and someone's fighting, usually I try to get in there, try to break it up. And they're just pulling their phones out, so they probably scoped out the scene. Oh, that's Jason Knight. Let's have some fun over here, and they started that bullshit.
Yeah, I don't know if they, I don't really know if they knew it was me or what, but either way, they got what they had coming to them.
And now, how long ago was this that it happened?
Last Christmas.
Last Christmas, you said?
Last December, almost a year ago.
Do you think, I mean, this is perfect timing to get all over the place. It was so funny. There we lost him again. Jason Knight's out again. We got.
I might have accidentally pushed the button.
Hold on. We'll get him back, and then we'll let him go. Poor guy. He just wants to play pool.
Yeah, I know. He told us ahead of time, and you're still.
Yeah.
He's already parked. They're just sitting there waiting.
All right. Jesus, Jesse feels bad. I'll get him back on, and then we'll end this shit. I'm just curious. I got a question. Anyway, we'll get to the chat questions, and the donations we have are on pause right now. We'll get to you guys in a second. But he was just like, yeah, fuck you guys. I'm going to play pool. I'm out of here. Jason Knight on the MMA-Holes. We'll wind the interview down. It's like, fuck y'all. I'm sick of talking about this bathroom stall. Yeah. All right. So we lost Jason over here. But we'll see if we can get him back on. Anyway, let's move on over here. So that's Jason the Kid Knight. Let me know in the chat, who do you think is next for Jason Knight? Who would you like to see? Would you like to see Artem Lobov the 3rd time? Paulie? Any of that stuff? Jess?
I saw someone in the chat say Johnny Bedford, which is interesting to me since they're trying to hype up Johnny Bedford to be like the next champion.
He is a champ at 135. I don't know if he's a big enough name though, right?
I feel that's someone that I think could rack up a few more wins and then perhaps fight Jason.
All right. Well, I mean, we'll find out. We'll find out soon enough, I'm sure. Do they run it back with Artem?
Do you want to try calling him back real quick?
Yeah, I'll try calling one more time, and then poor guy's. He's like, I just want to shoot pool. I just want to shoot pool, man. Let's see what the chat says as we try to get Jason back on.
What if his phone died?
It's possible. Anything's possible. What's going on in this chat room?
BK Rhoda says Jay Knight versus Johnny Bedford. Call out a fat dude says Jean Paul. Flat Earth Crypto. Your mom. Damien Detroit says all comers. Jean Paul. Artem called out Bedford. Flat Earth Deacon says Knight versus Bedwetter. Your mom Crypto says Simon Orr. NHS like to see a 3-time with Artem and kick his butt for a second time. Jean Paul says Artem called out Bedford. Stephen Crumley says Jason Knight. Kevin from Chicago says, did Jason see my question? No, but I did read your question, Kevin, and poor taste, man.
Oh, no
poor
good.
Taste.
Not a ask worthy question.
No. Like, I get that you're trying to be funny, but I gotta say it was in poor taste. Shame
on you, Kevin. All right, well, we got enough questions in over there. If we can get Jason back on, we'll get him back on. But that was Jason the Kid Knight, and he discussed a lot of things in Bare Knuckle FC9. I thought the fight was fantastic. I really do. Right now, I think Artem, the trilogy, makes the most sense for him, not for Artem. I think it makes most sense for Jason, because unless they drag someone in to Bare Knuckle, I don't know who you can line up where it could be a nice money fight for him. You know, pulling out Malignaggi in boxing, regular boxing, I don't know about that. He says he's down, but do you think, I don't know. I mean, Jason will get paid for that. He will get paid, but I don't know if we really want to see that, you know?
So I'm thinking his phone died, because Skype only does that when the receiving end's phone died.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling his phone probably died.
All right. Well, we'll get him on another time. It's all right. We got Kaleb Harris coming on in 26 minutes. So Kaleb Harris is wonderful, wonderful. I'm going to play the donations that we missed over here. Apologies to the people who dropped a couple of bucks in. If you notice, we did get rid of the Artem Lobov donation. We did get rid of that. I'm going to play that one. Right now. Where is it?
Man, you better back up or you're going to go to sleep. Man, you need to back up or you can go to sleep too.
I would like to take a second to acknowledge Michael Fredo Anzalone, the timestamp king of the MMA-Holes. And if you are the praying type, send prayers up to Mikey or just best wishes for his recovery. Get well, bro.
Agreed.
There you go. Michael Anzalone.
I've already prayed for him.
Is one of the best. And we found out today on the website, themmaholes.com, that Michael Anzalone is sick. And he's in bad shape. You know, he's been in bad shape for a while. So everyone in the chat, whether you pray or not, just keep him in your thoughts. You know, think about him. Because the guy he's one of the best. He's one of the most pure souls I've ever fucking met. Yeah. So Michael Anzalone, get better, man.
There he is.
And we got Jason Knight back in action. All right. Okay. I think we got him. And Jason, do you hear us? Let's see. We see his avatar.
This is awkward.
Hey, there you are.
Yeah, man, I'm sorry about that, man.
No worries, man. No worries. We were just
We're good. I see you guys. Y'all hear me good?
Yeah, we're good. We're good. We were just talking bathroom stall shit, and I was like, I think he had enough. Jason, welcome.
Man, my phone died, so I had to download Skype on my buddy's phone.
No shit. That's a badass move. Thank you for coming back on. We won't keep you long. We know you got to play pool, so we're just gonna ask a couple more questions over here. Jesse has questions from the chat.
Yeah.
So let's just see what they have to say.
All right, I'm gonna race through them for you. Kainoto says, did knowing you had an MMA whole army on your side help you pull through the fight?
Yeah, I guess so. You know, just knowing that I had people on my side, period, helped me out. And I always does. You know, I love having fans. I love having a fan base. I love having support. And thank y'all for sure. They're big time.
All right. Flat Earth Deacon says, do you think that you can take on Johnny Bedford?
Hell yeah. I will smash Johnny Bedford. I will put him to sleep. And, you know, that is said with the utmost respect. I will put that man to sleep. And I plan on doing it eventually.
I would like to see you do it because he I think the way that he ended his last fight against Felony was there was a lack of respect that went on there.
Can we ask you real quick? I mean, I know you know some of these fighters, coming in and out of bare knuckle, but what is the deal with Johnny Bedford? I mean, is he a class act, or is there a little chip on his shoulder? What is his deal?
I think he's got a little chip on his shoulder. I don't really know for sure. He seems like a decent guy whenever you're backstage, but then he tries to act like a douchebag in front of the cameras.
Yeah.
He's trying his best to get more money, and I can't really blame him for that. He's trying to get a bigger name fight, but he's going about it all the wrong way, if you ask me. You don't sit there and talk crazy about somebody who can really beat you up, and that's gonna get him beat up. I promise you, it is. First chance I get, it's gonna get him beat up.
Wow. Would you take that fight? Say if Bare Knuckle wanted to put that together, would you take it?
Absolutely. He's 5-0, so it's no big deal. The same as Jim Allers. I'll fight Jim Allers. As long as my coach says it's cool, let's do it. The only thing, if you're asking what I want, I don't want to fight either one of them right off the bat. I want to fight bigger names and make more money. Yeah. Either one of those I'm the money fight for either one of them. They're going to have to pay them extra to fight me, but you don't have to pay me extra to fight either one of them. They're going to try and subtract my purse to fight either one of them,
There you go. Jess, what else we have from the chat?
Pulse Resurrected says, who would win in a Dan Hooker rematch if it was striking only?
Oh, wow.
If we're doing just boxing, I think I can outclass him in boxing. But if we're adding everything else, that's a tough fight, man. Dan Hooker's a beast.
Yeah.
But it just depends on what Dan Hooker shows up. If it's the Dan Hooker who I fought, who's going to try to dance around and play it safe and outpoint me, then I'm going to smash him. He might outpoint me for a while, but I'm going to make it a nasty dog fight. If it's bare knuckle or something like that. But if we're doing full-on stand-up, that's a tough fight, man. Dan Hooker's a beast. Have you not seen him? But same as Jim Allers, he's got to get skinny. I won't fight that guy at 155. He's got to come down to 145. The reason I say that is not that I'm scared of him. I'll fight him in the streets if that's what they want to do. But if we're putting my record on the line, I'm not gonna fight you at 155 whenever I walk around at like 157. And then you're walking around at 165, 175, 180 even, and then you're cutting weight to get down to 155. Most of them, I guarantee you, Jim Allers for sure. If he cuts down to 155, as soon as it's over with, he's getting back up to 175, 180, before the fight.
Yeah.
If I cut to 155, the only thing I get to do is put my 2 pounds back on. You know what I'm saying? I don't get to gain all that weight like he does. So that's why if I fight him, he's coming all the way down to 145. He's going to suffer through a painful weight cut, and then he's not going to be able to get all the way back up to 185, within 24 hours.
Makes total sense there.
Yeah.
Jesse, anything else?
Kainoto says, does it feel good to know when bare knuckle takes off, people will always talk about you as one of the first real MMA fighters to cross into it?
Yeah, man, I think the cool thing about it, I wound up, I wanted to cement my legacy in the UFC, wherever. I just wanted to be remembered. And I thought for sure that by the time I got to the UFC, I was going to do great things in the UFC. And I did some good things in the UFC, but I thought for sure that, I was going to cement my legacy there. But with my first bare knuckle fight, I got marked down in the Hall of Fame, and that's pretty cool. I had one of those fights that people are going to remember for a long, long time, and that's what I've always wanted.
Yeah, I noticed that they surprised you with that Hall of Fame thing over there. That's a pretty cool honor, right? And a very young situation over here with this organization, and here you are, the face. I mean, that must have been something else.
Yeah, man, that's pretty cool. Scott Burt, he's the guy who's over the Bare Knuckle Hall of Fame, and he's a really cool guy, really nice guy, and I couldn't appreciate him anymore. He gave us both a pretty cool little knife. And, I'm just going to put that up on my little trophy case and keep it forever. And I got a pretty cool, it's like a a newspaper clipping kind of about John L. Sullivan and some of the other guys that did the bare knuckle boxing, and to have my name in the Hall of Fame right next to those guys is pretty cool.
It's awesome. Who plays Jason Knight in the Jason Knight movie? I mean, you have some story. What actor would play you?
What actor would play me?
Who would you want?
That'd be a tough role, but I would like, somebody like Matthew McConaughey to end up being me.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing.
All right.
I think that'd be awesome. Like Matthew McConaughey's a badass actor. Somebody like what's his damn name? Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wahlberg, that'd be pretty sweet. Mark Wahlberg. I'm just thinking of like my favorite, most badass actors, and those two come to mind. Those are some of my favorite actors.
So you're saying it wouldn't be Kevin Hart, right?
Hey, Kevin Hart, if he wants to, he can play me. I don't care.
All right, I had to throw it out there. All right, Jess, anything else from the chat?
Yes.
How
Okay.
about that? All thing sucks about Kevin Hart is I'm not very funny.
Jean Paul says, "What's your favorite beer?"
Miller Lite. Since I've got saved, man, I don't really know. I don't know why, but I really haven't really had the thirst for beer, alcohol, or anything. I feel like I know that everybody's gonna sin. That's okay, and it's okay to drink every so often or whatever. But I haven't just had one of them nights where I'm like, man, I'm finna go get drunk tonight. I like drinking beer, and whenever I drink it, it's gonna be Miller Lite. And if I'm not drinking Miller Lite, I'm drinking Patron.
There you go. Oh,
Patron.
that's dangerous, Patron.
No,
that's the only two drinks I'm gonna drink. Period.
There you go.
I have one last one, and this is from Drunk Savage, and he said, "Don't forget to ask about the tattoo." Now, there's like a little story behind this, but the last time you were on the show, I noticed a Paris tattoo on your right arm, and we put together a thumbnail, I think Monday, and we saw a void sign over the Paris tattoo, and we want to know if you put void over Paris being a name, or what's the story behind that?
Man, I went to Paris one time. I hate that country. I don't know why. No, I'm just kidding. My ex-wife, her name's Paris, and we got a divorce because she cheated on me. A week before my last UFC fight she cheated on me plenty of times before we got a divorce.
Oh, wow.
And she cheated on me a few times before we got married, and then, stuff wound up going real good for about a year, and then like a dummy, I thought she changed. And, we got married, and then almost a year later, right before my last UFC fight, a week before the last UFC fight, well, I take that back. Let's skip on back a little bit more. 2 weeks before my last UFC fight, I go out to California, and I'm up there in California, and training at Team Alpha Male, and I call, and I'm talking to my little boy. We had a few arguments before I left for California, and, I mentioned divorce like once or twice. Well, I called talking to my little boy. I'm like, "What you doing, buddy?" He said, "I'm at my mommy's new house." I was like, "Huh?"
Ooh.
We was married, living together and stuff. So I was like, "Hold on, put your mom on the phone." So he puts her on the phone, and I'm like, "What's he mean your new house?" She said, "Well, you said something about a divorce, so I got mama to help me get a new place." Like, all right, whatever. And then I still love the girl or whatever. So I come home, and I got a week. I'm going to be home for a week, and then I got to fly out to New York to go fight Jordan Rinaldi. Well, that whole week I'm trying to, get stuff right with my wife, trying to get my family back, blah, blah, blah. Well, the end of the week, it's like Friday comes, we take my little boy trick-or-treating and stuff, and I leave, because they were planning on going mud riding that weekend. It was kind of cold, and I couldn't do it. I didn't want to take a chance of getting sick. Well, that night I just had a bad gut feeling. I was like, man, she's doing something wrong. So I go out to the mud park. We got a mud park down here in Mississippi that you take your camper down there, your four-wheelers, and you go ride around on this big, spot of land. I think it's like 1,000 acres or some shit. A bunch of acres. But anyways, she's staying at this camper down there that we always stayed at. And, I had a bad gut feeling, so I was just going to ride out there that night. And when I rode out, I was like, like, man, if her truck's there, I'm just going to keep going so I don't look crazy. Well, I pull up, her truck's there, but the four-wheeler she's supposed to be riding is not there. But there's another one parked there.
Oh,
I was
man.
like, I wonder who this is. So I try to open the door. It's an RV. I try to open the door, and the door was locked. So, I go through the front door, like the driver door. I go through that door, and there's a little curtain hanging down. I kind of peek up under the curtain, and as I pick my head up under the curtain, she's getting out of the shower. She's fully dressed and all this stuff. So we start talking. Next thing you know, I see somebody laid over in the bed, they're covered up. It's like, who's that? I'm thinking maybe it's her mom.
Oh,
Next thing you know, this dude is a guy that I knew, man. Like, we used to ride four-wheelers with him all the time. Supposedly one of our friends. Folds the covers back and stands up, and he's in his boxers. Bap, bap, bap. I hit him straight right, left hook, straight right, and dropped him. And then, after that, I went and fought Jordan Rinaldi, come back, filed for divorce. And I recently got that bad boy on there, that void symbol. But yeah, that had to go.
Holy.
But yeah, man, I'm eventually gonna get it covered all the way up because it's something I just don't want on my body.
Mm.
But at the time, void symbol was way better than Paris.
Wow.
You
that
have
is some
some story.
fuck.
That is crazy.
I want the book, the movie. I want the whole thing. This is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, man, I'm telling you, I've had an event for life, man. I can't say that it's just a great story or whatever, but I got some stuff I can tell you about from time to time,
I'd love to hear it.
Yeah, one day.
I want to know everything.
One day we want story time with Jason Knight. Would you have a reoccurring segment doing that, Jason? How do you feel about that?
I'm down, man.
Yeah.
I'm an open book. I got saved by God now, and I believe 100% that I'm going to heaven. I'm going to be on the right path. I'm going to do what I'm supposed to do to get there, and I believe that past experiences aren't going to hurt me. So why not talk about them?
Hey, I love your
That's
honesty,
awesome.
and it's refreshing. It's actually really refreshing. I see in the on the donations over here, Travis Tabor says something, and we're just gonna read that real quick. All right, Jess.
Let's see, he says, I was at the fights and Jason talked to everyone in the crowd. His fans in Mississippi love him. Good guy.
There you go. So what do you feel about
Hey,
that?
I try to talk to all the fans wherever I go. I wouldn't be where I'm at without people screaming my name. So if somebody comes up, I don't care who you are. If you're a little old lady, if you're a kid, I don't care if you're an old fat guy. You come up and you want a picture with Jason Knight, you're getting it. If you want an autograph, you're getting it. As long as I'm able to be there, I'm going to do it. If I've got to spend 3 extra hours at an event, so what? I'm doing what I love to do. And if I can make a fan's day by taking pictures with them or signing an autograph or whatever, then I'm definitely going to do that.
That's good stuff. Well, we're going to raise the Jason Knight picture in the background. The next time you come on, we promise the Lobov will not be there. We're going to have the Jason Knight. You are the new GOAT, whether you like it or not. We're calling you the new GOAT of Bare Knuckle FC, of combat sports. What do you say, Jesse?
Okay.
How's that feel, Jason?
Yeah, I say you can leave Artem. I don't care if you take him down or not, but I say leave Artem and definitely get a Jason Knight up there.
All right, fair enough. Jason, thank you for coming on. If there's any sponsors or shout-outs, now's the time to do it.
Yeah, for sure. Veteran Farms, this is a CBD company they sent me plenty of money to help me get through the camp. They came out, hung out for the fight. Evan, you're the man. Thank you so much. Monica and Vanessa from Phenomena Mom Fitness Kickboxing, thank y'all so much. Nelson Outdoors and Kratom and Company. Nelson Outdoors, I still haven't met them, but those guys, they sent out plenty of money to help me out. Kratom and Company, I met that guy, but I did not get his name because it was at my fight. A hectic, crazy night. But thank y'all so much, man. I'm telling you, without those sponsors, it would have been a tough training camp, and I wouldn't have been able to fight as good as I did. So thank y'all so much. All my fans that's out there screaming my name, thank y'all. I love y'all. Family, friends, all that. Thank y'all. I love y'all. Thank y'all for having me on the show, and God bless.
All right, Jason. Thanks again for coming on. We'll talk to you soon.
That's me balling my fist up, giving me. I always do this for every picture, but That's all you get, bro.
That's gotta hurt. Oh my God, that doesn't look good. Heal up, rest up, have fun tonight, and looking forward to talking to you again soon.
All right, brother. I appreciate it.
All right,
Have a
be
good
good.
one, and
Take care.
get back with me. I'll be glad to get on the show anytime.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. There he is, Jason the Kid Knight, live on the MMA-Holes, and what an interview. Guy's nice.
I knew it about that tattoo.
You called it.
I knew it.
What a story around that, huh? Shh.
That's crazy. Well, I
He
don't
went in there
wanna
and beat
say-
the fuck out of him. Good for him.
Yeah, it's not my place to make any, comments or anything like that, but it's good that he got out of a bad situation, and he seems to be doing better now than how he's sounding to be doing in that situation. So,
Yeah, thank
I'm
you for
happy
the
for him.
donations, by the way. We appreciate it. And, when we have guys on, what we're going to do is we're going to play the donations at the end of the interviews. We don't want to just completely keep on interrupting the show. We want to get their stories out. But we do appreciate the donations because you guys are keeping the show going and flowing. You are. Wonderful. I just have to say something real quick. I don't know if Dempsey, it was his name, Justin Dempsey. What was that kid's name?
Justin Jr.
Justin Jr. something.
It's like numbers.
I don't know. Justin Jr. I'm saying Justin Dempsey. Whatever his name is. Justin Jr. If you're in the chat, he did an interview with Jason Knight. He's like 12 years old. He called up the show once, and it is freaking hysterical. This kid, he's going to be the next Ariel Helwani. Very funny kid. So if you're in the chat, shout out to Justin Jr. for your interview over there. We saw, what was it, 4 minutes of it. Hilarious. In the middle of the interview, his mom starts vacuuming in the background. I was dying. Jason Knight's telling a story, and you're... I think that should be a bit in every one of his interviews. It's great. The kid's awesome. So shout out to Justin Jr. All right, so that was Jason Knight. We'll have Kaleb Harris on very shortly. And what do you think? What do you take from that interview?
That was great. I mean, any interview that we usually have with, especially the Bkfc fighters, tends to be, pretty good interviews. So.
Yeah. All right, let's see what the chat said about the interview. We want Jason back on. Let us know. Jesse, how you feeling? What's wrong?
My head hurts.
Your head hurts. The bright lights?
Yeah, I think it is. Also, I have no wine.
No wine. Oh, no. You're having withdrawals.
Heavy McGregor says Knight's face will... Oh.
Look out! It's going down! Roberto Hernandez! Anzalone! Michael Anzalone! Michael Anzalone! Watch out, here he comes with the wrench friend, heart soul of the holes, Mrs. Steely girlfriend. Time out trolls, welcome to the dead end. Cock so big that you can't even comprehend. Bust and groan, making bitches moan on the timestamp throne while the chat room's stoned. Hold up! Save the show, for the tales will be told about Michael Anzalone. Yeah, Roberto, yeah!
I wish you a sincere fast recovery, Michael. Clapping hands.
Shout out to Roberto Hernandez. That was a very generous donation. You are wonderful.
So I know Mikey in one of the other live chats of actually T-Man that we watched a long time ago said that he's been in quite a bit of pain and he's been trying to sleep through the pain, which is why you guys haven't really seen him in the chat very much often, is because he's probably sleeping and that's the best thing he can do is to get rest. But it looks like now it's really progressed and he did end up back in the hospital, but I have faith that he will come back out much better than he is now.
That's right. And if you don't know if you're new to the show and you have no idea who Michael Anzalone is, he is a moderator. He is part of, he's a big part of this community.
He's the Rock.
He's a big part of why we are where we are. The guy used to go back and timestamp every video of ours. And one of the sweetest guys you've ever met. So shout out to Michael Anzalone. We're here for you. And if you're new, you're OG, just, keep your thoughts and prayers for Mikey Anzalone. There's Justin over there, Justin Jr. All right, Justin, we just praised you about your interviews. We have an idea, and but we need your mom's permission for this idea because, honestly, you are fucking funny as all hell, Justin. Go subscribe to Justin Jr., right? Give him a sub, Justin Jr. And hit us in the DMs. We want to talk to your mom immediately, right, Jesse? No? I want to talk to his mom because I want to have him on a bit in the show because I think it'd be fucking hilarious. The kid's so funny. His interviews are hilarious. The best. Anyway, so Jason the Kid Knight was on the show, knocked out Artem Lobov in the 5th round of Bare Knuckle 9. And we're going to move on over to Kaleb Harris. If you have any questions, drop it in the chat. We have a lot of MMA news as well. Would you like to squeeze in a quickie and a story before we get to Kaleb Harris, Jess? What you say?
Can I pee real quick?
You sure can, Jess. You sure can. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to play a word from our sponsors. We're going to take a quick pee break and then bring you into the Kaleb Harris experience. Because Kaleb Harris, we have a lot to talk about. He was at Bare Knuckle as well. Got the knockout victory, 2 in a row for Kaleb Harris, finishing people. And he is wonderful, wonderful. We'll be right back. Stand by.
Don't miss out on betting the best moments in sports with BetDSI.com. We'll double your money with a 100% bonus on your first deposit. Bet at home, bet on your phone, and bet live during your favorite game.
Sticker Mule is the fastest and easiest way to order custom stickers and more. Simply select the product you want, choose a size and quantity, upload your artwork, and within a few hours, we'll send you an online proof. You can request changes to the proof for free until you're happy. With quick turnaround and free 2-day shipping, your custom products will be in your hands in no time. Try us today for as little as $9.
Yes, yes, yes. And Timeless CBD. Shout out to Timeless CBD. 20% off. Promo code MMA Hole. Aunt H is trying to negotiate with Justin. The reason why I say go subscribe to his channel is he has a couple of interviews. His interview at Felony is so freaking fun. He's a kid that has like zero fear. He called him the forbidden name. So it's just, he had me, I was literally in tears crying, laughing. I was like, this guy he's ruthless. He's a little ruthless son of a bitch.
I will give him credit.
Dude, we were laughing our ass off.
He's fucking hilarious. For a 12-year-old interviewing professional fighters, he is hilarious. Like, he asks questions that adults probably would never have the nerve to ask.
Balls of steel. Balls of steel. So that's why I want to contact his mom, and I would love to do a segment. I would love to do him, have him do him. Hello.
Wonderful.
Get Chris Hansen, I'm sorry. I would love to have him have a segment where he asks the most ridiculous questions. You know? We would love to write you questions and have you ask it to these fighters.
He asked Felony, he goes, are you really crazy or do you just pretend to be that way on air?
Felony's reaction was like, what the fuck? And then he calls him the forbidden name, basically kicks him out of his show. It's hysterical. Anyway, no, he's not ours.
He's like playing a video game while he's interviewing these fighters.
It's funny. He's a funny kid. All right, let's get Kaleb Harris on the show. Not many people, you can tell. You can tell this kid is... He's going to do something with himself. He's funny as all hell. All right, let's get Kaleb on. The MMA-Holes. All righty. And we're going to mute the donations again. If you do donate, we will play it at the end of the interview. And we appreciate all your support, you generous SOBs. Let's get Kaleb on. All righty. And the Skype. The powerful Skype. Justin, you shite all over RX. Thank you, Lil Chuck. That's right, Lil Chuck's about to come on. We're getting him on right now. It's a goddamn celebrity. The guy rocking the MMA-Holes swag. Looking wonderful, wonderful. Got a big win. Look at this. It's just doing work. I mean, that's some serious stuff.
Wonderful. Got a big win.
There he is.
Look at this.
There he is, Kaleb.
What's up?
Harris, what up? How's it going, man?
It's going good, man. Just got home not too long ago from training. Just got done eating dinner.
I see you right on the horse again. I mean, you do not waste any time. Right back to the gym. Business as usual.
That's right.
So, all right. This is insane, man. I tell you what, they throw this kid in front of you. The guy looked tough. I mean, I don't know much about your opponent, but all I know is the guy looked like a tough son of a bitch. And you did work. You got the job done once again, got the finish. Was it more sweet this time, the first time? I mean, the last time or this time? Which one was more?
I got to be honest. The last time was was the knockout. I mean, that I'd been chasing for 8 years. And I made a statement to bare knuckle, and then I came in this one, and yeah, he was a last minute replacement, but I was already planning on. I didn't care who I fought. I was going out there to this was going to be my third time fighting in basically my backyard. I was going out there to drop another body, and let everybody know that like, I'm ready to get out of my yard and fight somewhere else as well. Like, I love fighting in Biloxi. I love having all my family there. But I've never once, even in MMA or anything, I've never wanted to be a local town hero. So, like, I'm ready to see the world. I always knew the only way I was going to see the world was through fighting. So, as soon as David Feldman's ready to unleash me on the rest of the states, I'm ready to go after him.
There you go. Kaleb Harris, once again, live with the MMA-Holes. We're going to say it. Friend of the show. I think we're friends now. Yeah, I mean, listen, you've come on. This is what, the third or fourth time?
Nah, I don't think he's at that level yet.
Is he our friend now or what? No?
Nah.
What? Oh, you're going to have to get stone face over here. Look at this. Jesse, why not?
I don't know.
Look at Jesse.
Just mad she ain't got no wine.
It's because I don't have any wine.
Oh, that's true.
If I
Where's
had
your
wine, I'd be like, yeah, he's totally a friend.
Kaleb, have you ever fought in a bathroom stall against two guys or one guy? Has that ever happened before?
I've never been in a bathroom stall with any guys. So,
Wonderful.
Wait, do you think there was some tomfoolery over there? Do you think that story might have been altered? Do you think there was something else going on?
No. Anybody else, I'd been like, okay, if there hadn't been a video, I'd been like, okay, maybe like there was a little more to the story. But no, knowing what little bit I do know personally of Jason Knight, more than likely, he just said what was on his mind, and some idiots thought it was for some reason, a good idea to go pick a fight with a ex-UFC fighter in a bathroom stall, and they paid the price. I mean, that's just, it wouldn't have surprised me at all if some random person came up and said, "Did you hear Jason Knight got in a fight in a bathroom stall at a club last year?" I'd be like, yeah, that sounds about right.
What a life this guy's had. It's crazy. Every time we talk to him, it's another insane story. It's nuts. Are you looking to have a similar path? Or are we going to have some crazy times from this point on?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I don't do well in the club scene. So like most of my crazy stories are probably going to involve either, just hanging out at watching fights, or they're going to happen due to training. I pretty much, I'm boring in that aspect. I'm exciting when it comes to fighting, and I have my wild stories, but they're not on that Jason Knight, like getting into a fight with two guys in a bathroom level.
Now, the last time we spoke, I mean, I don't know, I think it was after the last fight, or no, we spoke after that, excuse me. But anyway, we spoke once before, and it looked like you were single, and then all of a sudden a girl was popping up on your social media scene, and it looks like, have you found love, or what's going on here?
So, the story of that is that she does jiu-jitsu and has had one amateur MMA fight, and she lives in Florida right now.
Okay.
And so I was just we were just talking, and just talking back and forth. Had no plans of this ever being a real thing. Just we were gonna hang out whenever we had chances, and this girl drove 6 hours to come see me, to come hang out with me, and I'm like,
that's a keeper.
Like I literally told her, I was like, I'm gonna be honest, like I probably wouldn't have done it. Like, I mean, I wasn't being mean, I just was being honest. And she went home, and we kept talking, and she came back again, and again drove 6 hours one way just to see me.
Wow.
And spend the whole weekend, and next thing we know, we're talking, and then it became official. We were dating, and long distance sucks. it can get under your skin. So we've had a breakup in between, but we got back to talking probably about 2 weeks before my fight, and she came down to the fight, and we spent the weekend together, and hopefully things are going to keep going good. But you know, it's nice to finally date somebody that knows the life.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah,
Like,
I mean,
she had no problem understanding that Friday night after weigh-ins, you know, was me and my team, and she came in. She drove down like Saturday afternoon and hung out for a couple hours before the fight. So
there you go. All right, so listen, I got a little nervous there. I was like, "Oh shit, did he dump her?" I don't know, but you are. So you're a spoken for man, right? Is that what's going on here?
We're good.
Okay.
It's all good right now. So we're gonna just keep going with the flow. I try not to stress over it.
Yeah, I
It
mean,
doesn't always work, but
she better lock you up now because this is getting insane. You're becoming a superstar. You're all over the place here. I mean, it's unbelievable.
if you ask her, she still thinks she can kick my ass. So,
So does she keep you grounded?
she does. It's like I said, it's different having somebody that is also into combat sports. So like when she talks shit, it's not just, well, I can beat you up. It's like, if you don't quit talking shit, I'm fixing to choke you out, or I'm gonna triangle you or something like that. And I'm like, so it's actually fun when she talks shit to me. So, but yeah, it's been a good time so far.
It's funny, like, and this is not a relationship show, but who gives a fuck? It's the MMA-Holes. We got Kaleb Harris, for God's sakes. We're the best in the game. You know, when you're dating someone that's into sports or the same things that you're interested in, it does make it easier. It really does. Like, it's just fun having, like, someone that's, like, kind of a good friend that you get to occasionally have sex with, hang out with you. It's great. How's the sex? Is it good?
It's great.
I had to ask.
I'm not gonna kiss and tell on all that, but it's amazing. So
a girl that drives 6 hours to see you, is that like guaranteed sex? I mean, you think about it, she's looking for sex, right?
Look, I'm gonna go ahead and put this now before any feminists get on here. No matter what a woman does, it is not a guarantee to have sex.
Oh, okay.
Listen.
At any given point in time,
listen.
No can mean no. So
as a woman who has traveled across the country to be with a man, she was looking for sex if she traveled 6 hours.
Jesse's trying to, well, what were you trying to say there, Jesse?
I'm just letting you know. She traveled 6 hours. She definitely had an agenda.
Man, oh man. What? Is that the case, Kaleb? Be honest with us.
I don't know. Right now at this point, I'm not sure if it's going to be good if she sees this episode.
Don't tell her you were on. Just, all right. It's a secret.
Well, she seems like a nice girl. Listen, I mean, you're one of the nicest guys we've met as a fighter. A lot of fighters are super nice. I mean, look at Jason Knight, super nice guy as well. But you are a real class act. Even from the first time we spoke with you, I mean, all you wanted to do is just, talk about the fights, and you were super humble in the beginning. Now you have your 2 knockouts in Bare Knuckle FC. Bare Knuckle's exploding right now. And here you are, surging all over the place. You just got sponsored by 2 places. You want to shout out those sponsors right now?
Yes. I was actually so excited that I was going to get to announce it on here, too. So MMA Uncensored, who has been showing up and working with Bkfc for a while now, and then Rev Gear, both have decided to sponsor me and one other bare knuckle fighter. And I thought that was the coolest thing, was that when I got the phone call, I was at work, and I got a text from the guy, and he was like, I got some great news. I was like, can you call me? And he sends me his number. I'm like, well, I'm at work right now. I was like, can I call you as soon as I get off? And I got to talking to him. He's like, so here's the deal. He's like, I got a sponsorship deal for you. I'm like, and I mean, I've met the guy before, but I'd only for MMA Uncensored. But like this past weekend was the first time we actually sat down and talked. They brought in some Rev Gear gloves and rash guards and shirts and stuff for all the BKFC fighters. And we just got to talking. He's kind of helping me get my Instagram up a little bit. And he goes, I got you a deal with Rev Gear and MMA Uncensored. And I literally stopped. I was like Rev Gear, as in, he said, as in California, training gear brand. I was like, okay, what do I got to do? And he's like, that's the beauty of it, man. He said, you just keep doing you. He's like, they told me to pick 2 fighters. I picked you, and I picked Johnny Bedford.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'm in good company. And I do have to say this as a little side note. I don't know anything that's been said as far as Johnny and Jason and
You knew
all
where I was
that.
gonna go. Yeah.
Anytime I've spoken to Johnny Bedford, he has always been a class act, and he's been really cool. He's even offered for me to come out to Texas anytime and do some training with him. I will say that, like, what y'all saw with the felony fight, felony got inside Bedford. Like
think
that
so, huh?
that man was like just constantly agging on, and then he came in overweight, and Bedford's not used to our Mississippi rules because technically if you miss weight in Mississippi, they have until noon the day of the fight to cut the weight. And so there was a disagreement there. So I think a lot was going on. That was just felony had already gotten under Bedford's skin so much. And so, like, he kind of let that emotion show a little bit the night of the fight, which, I mean, we're fighters.
Sure.
I mean, that our basic need is to run off our emotions. And so, I mean, occasionally you're going to get two guys that don't like each other, and if one guy wins, then, I mean, you know, he's gonna let the world know it.
So you're saying that you didn't
I
call...
had to say that, Johnny.
No, that's fair enough. Listen, we don't know him, so like we just make stupid jokes over here and we get in trouble a lot. So I mean, listen, I can understand where you're coming from here. You're saying that you didn't call him bedwetter, right? You did not call him bedwetter.
No.
Okay.
I've never called Johnny a bedwetter. Like that man, I mean, they got the right name, because when he comes out, like my mom actually asked me, was both of them crazy? Because Johnny had an insane look on his face. I was like, no, that's his fight look.
He wanted to kill him. He wanted to kill. Listen, I mean, felony. He's been doing this for a long time, so he knows how to get him.
I'm not sure if it's an act or if that's just him. Like, there's times where I literally think he's insane, and then there's times where I'm like, okay, he's doing this to get followers, and it's working. So he's kind of just doing like Conor McGregor. He's running with it, but I don't know.
Did you run into him? I mean, you guys were around the same quarters over. Did you run into him at the fight?
We bumped in a few times, and he walked by getting ready for the official weigh-ins, and let's just say the Herb was pretty loud that day.
This dude, listen, I love him. I love the guy. I mean, he's been on the show a million times, and I have to say this. It is a mixture of both. He does have a normal side to him, but it's still out of the ordinary. The guy's got a crazy life. I mean, I can get into that off air maybe. But he was super sick going into this fight. This dude had tissue stuffed into his nose, sneezing, coughing out loogies, and not making any excuses for the guy. But he's just rolling these blunts and fucking smoking away. Like,
oh yeah, I was watching on y'all's last show. I've been telling people, I was like, guys, y'all think he's crazy? Go watch the MMA-Holes. Like I was putting the plug in for y'all. Like I was telling them, go watch the MMA-Holes and watch his interview before mine. Like it's insane.
The guy's out of his mind. He's completely out of his mind. He tells us that he's an actor before he's a fighter, but the guy could fight. I mean, watching that fight, you know, going in there with Johnny Bedford, and listen, as much as we joke around, Johnny Bedford's legit. The guy's good. He's a good. I mean, he's what, 5-0 now in bare knuckle. Yeah. Like we joke around, who would he fight? This and that. He's a 135er, came up to 145 to fight Felony, and Felony's got a gazillion fights under his belt, fighting in Pride and all over the place. I do believe.
I wish more people would pay attention to the weight classes like y'all do. I've made a post on my social media. I've got a great guy, John Yargates, that's been just out of the goodness of his heart hitting me with promo videos, and I put on there, who would y'all like to see me fight next? And the only people's names that have been thrown up at me are people that are 2 to 3 weight classes below me. They want me to fight Johnny Bedford and Jason Knight, and I'm like, and I just heard Jason Knight walks around at 157. That 155 is the only weight I could fight Jason Knight at, for one, because I can't make 45. I walk around like Jim Allers does. I walk around at 180. So like, that wouldn't make sense. And then Johnny Bedford's a 35er that moved up to 45. So it would make no sense at all for him being 5-0 to come up to fight 20 to 30 pounds just to fight a guy that's 2-1 and 3 weight classes ahead of him, you know. So I wish more people would pay attention to the weight classes instead of just wanting to see 2 guys fight.
Yeah, I mean, it jumps in everyone's head. Hey, Jason Knight has this big win. Hey, you want to get a payday? Fight Jason Knight. That sounds great, but you got to do what's right for you. Now, what is right for you? I mean, if you think about it, you're on a 2-fight win streak. You're laying people out. I think it's time to make the big bucks here. I mean, apparently they paid you pretty decent, but now we're talking here. Kaleb Harris. I mean, when you're talking face of bare knuckle, you got the Jason Knights, Artem Lobov no more. Johnny Bedford you could talk about as well. But Kaleb Harris is the up-and-comer. Kaleb Harris is the guy putting people to sleep, and now everyone's talking about it. There's a buzz. So what would be next for you?
Man, that's the problem, is that like there's a lot of 55ers, and I think some of them could come to 65, and then there's a few 65ers, but like a lot of them haven't been signed. Like I signed a 3-fight contract after my big knockout last fight with Bkfc. They never actually announced it, and I kept waiting for them to before I was supposed to post it. So technically this is the first time I'm announcing it on live, but I signed a 3-fight contract with them. So, and yes, my purse increases every time I win, but like I want to fight a name that continues to keep the train rolling. Like I don't want easy fights, but at the same time, with me being under contract, I don't want to take a fight with. I've actually told the matchmaker, because there was rumor at one point that to save a show, if it wasn't going to be a pay-per-view, me and Knight might fight.
Wow.
And I told him, I said, that's fine with me. I'm not scared to fight anybody. I was like, it'll be a fun fight, but you're not going to pay me $2.5 grand plus 2 tables to fight Jason Knight when I know the guy made $40,000 off his last fight, his first time fighting for with Lobov, from what I read. So I was like, I'm not. And they're like, no, we'd pay you more. But I'm like, yeah, but I'm under contract, so you really don't have to. And then I'm stuck with the situation of, do I turn down the fight as a business aspect, or do I take the fight out of my pride? So right now, I just want a bigger name that gets me moving up. Mm-hmm. Because by the end of 2020, I want a 165 belt wrapped around my waist. I don't care if we got to do a 165 tournament with 4 guys and we spread it out throughout the year. Whether David Feldman and them like it, and I'm sure they would, I'm planning to become a face of bare knuckle. And that's not me being cocky. That's me wanting to go out there, and I want to fight whoever I need to fight to prove that this is my ring. And so, whoever that ends up being, they just, like I said in one of my post-fight interviews, I'm looking to be at the top, and whoever gets in the way has got to be put down, regardless of how much respect I have for them. But I'm still new to the game. I mean, I was sitting around in the hotel lobby, I guess it was Friday night, stitched around, sitting over there. A couple of the Bkfc guys and a few of the big-time sponsors were sitting around drinking beer. And, we're just sitting there talking about the different sports. And, versus MMA injuries versus bare-knuckle injuries versus I don't do football, but I think it was a Steelers game where the dude rips the helmet off and swings it at a guy or something like that. And then Stitch gets up and walks off, and I just happened to go. I was like, this is what's cool to me. And they're like, what? I was like, y'all are used to dealing with former UFC guys like Johnny Bedford, Jim Allers, Jason Knight, Artem. I jumped straight from a 3-1 MMA record, and I was top 10 in my state. I jumped straight from there to bumping shoulders with being in the same corner as Artem Lobov, and on the same cards as the famous Jason Knight versus Artem Lobov fight. And it just it's surreal still to me that I just sit like Stitch Duran, the king of cutmen, is just sitting there, just talking to me and, having a beer. Mm-hmm. And it's just been a crazy ride so far. And I'm just looking to make a home here if I can.
Is it easier this time around? I mean, now that you've been in there multiple times, you got the loss out of the way, you got a spectacular knockout, and here you are, once again, going to fight with no gloves on. You got these celebrities around you, you have former UFC fighters, you got Stitch, you got all this stuff going on. Is it getting easier?
Yes, it is. It's I showed up to weigh-ins. As soon as the athletic commission showed up, I stepped on weighs. I knew I was grabbing Johnny or Jason, and I was like, hey man, where's the doctor at? Let's get this done. And then it's not not starstruck anymore. It's just, oh, that's so and so over there. Dustin Poirier was at the fights that night, and I got to get a picture with him, which was pretty cool. And it was actually cool that when I walked up to him, I was like, man, I'm not trying to be a fanboy, but I'm one of the first fights. Can I go ahead and get a picture with you? He's like, yeah, I've seen you fight for him before. And all I'm thinking is, let him have seen the knockout. Let him have seen the knockout. And I got a little hyped up at the end of my fight because I actually like screamed out at Dustin. I was like, how you like that shit, baby? How you like that shit? And he's throwing thumbs up at me, and it's been a fun experience, and I'm getting more comfortable. Like this time walking out, I wasn't trying to be somebody else dancing around and almost stumble and fall off the catwalk. I'm enjoying the moment, that walk to the ring, and hearing them announce my hometown, Lake Mississippi, and seeing and looking out to the crowd and seeing all my folks from my hometown stand up and cheer. Like it's getting to be where I could get used to this.
I could get used to watching you. It's fantastic stuff. We have Kaleb Harris live on the MMA-Holes Bare Knuckle 9, another knockout once again, and we're going to show a picture over here. Kaleb is rocking the MMA-Holes shirt, the wonderful, wonderful shirt. Are you feeling the power of that shirt? I mean, you're 2-0. Is this becoming a superstition?
I had that shirt packed and ready to go 2 days before time, and I actually sent you a message, and I was like, man, because they make us do these photo shoots. That's actually the picture I sent you. They make us do all these different poses, hands up, everything. And I asked the guy, I said, hey man, this is one of my big time sponsors. I said, because that's what I consider you guys. I consider you guys a sponsor for having me on. I want to rep y'all. I love y'all show. I love the community. Like there's been so many times that people from the community have just messaged me, wishing me luck. And so I was like, can I take a couple pictures with my shirt on first? He's like, yeah. And then official weigh-ins comes and they're like, all right, you got to take your clothes off before you step up onto the platform. I'm like, there's no cameras down here. I said, nobody's going to see the MMA-Holes shirt. I'm looking out, turned sideways. And I'm like, I'm doing this so that at least people will notice my shirt before I take it off. And then I walk up there. And that's when I finally noticed my opponent. And he's a good guy. He's a little out there, but he's a good guy. I don't knock anybody for having conspiracy theories, but most of his Instagram is filled with space isn't real type stuff.
Oh,
I'm like, goodness. Okay, so I really didn't know what I was going to get into coming in, but I mean, the dude was tough. He had a hard chin, and he definitely was unorthodox. I'd never fought somebody with that kind of a awkward stance. Mm-hmm. But as the fight went on, I got better at it and started learning to pick my shots. And I knew if the ref didn't call it at the end of the second round, the third round, he was getting knocked out.
I have a picture of him up right now, and you really rearrange his face. The one that you have on Instagram with the his nose being plugged up and his eyeballs concaved into his head. I mean, you really did a number on this guy. Do you feel bad about the horrible beating that you gave him?
So that's the hard part. It's like I don't enjoy hurting anybody. I don't. Like you said, man, I'm a nice guy outside the ring. But it's like I've told people, when I get in that cage, when I make that walk, Kaleb goes out the window. It's Lionheart, and that's it. And he's got one job, and that's to be the guy that gets his hand raised, whatever it takes. But yeah, I've never, in 21 fights now, I've never done that kind of damage to somebody. I mean, I've swole up, I've busted up people, but I've never done that. He came to me to talk to me the next day and wish me safe travels, and his eyes were just swole almost shut, and I was like, be careful going home, man. Good luck. But,
it's got to be a great feeling, though. I mean, even though you don't want to hurt somebody, really. I know
right.
People say that, but it had to be a fantastic feeling to make a man look like that. I've never had that experience.
I didn't know the fight was over with at the end of the second round. Stitch comes in and start wiping off blood off my face, and he's like, I was like, is the fight over? He goes, yeah. He's like, I didn't even have to do any work, you asshole. I was like, that's a good thing, right? And I was like, what happened? He's like, well, I think you broke his nose, which I'm not sure if I did or not, but I guess after he stood up at the end of the 8 count, but I guess the ref saw that there was too much, which I'm not going to lie, I was kind of glad because I've been fighting a cold all week, and that sounds really petty, but like I couldn't drink any fluids because I was cutting weight. I was waking up with knives in my throat every morning and coughing my head off. And so like for the last like 3 days before weigh-ins, I had a migraine. And during the fight, my chest was on fire. From the moment they said go and we started, my heart rate went up. I couldn't breathe. Like I was dying on the inside. Every time he went on the ground, I'm sitting there saying, "Don't get up.
Wow.
Don't get up. Just, let this be done so I can." I got to the back and like it's like running sprints in cold air. Like I couldn't take a deep breath because it hurt so bad. And so like that was a new experience for me. But I mean, I guess I could have been like Logan Paul and complained because I sneezed a couple times and that's why but here I was dying of a cold and I still went out there and won. So
I always wonder what fighters do. I mean, everyone gets sick, and I'm watching Felony going through whatever the hell he was going through. I mean, what do you do in a situation like that? I mean,
dude, I took so much cough syrup, Mucinex DM, like all throughout the fight. I mean, all the day before the fight, and like I took like a big swallow of Mucinex DM before I went out there to fight, like just to try to keep my cough down.
There you go.
Because I mean, that was the biggest problem. Was I was scared I was going to go into a coughing fit in my corner, and they were going to think something was wrong and call the fight. That was my biggest fear in this whole fight.
So I have a question about the cough medicine, because I've heard, and it's funny you mentioned Logan Paul, because even he said so when he was doing the training camp, that his coach told him not to take any medication because it would slow him down. Things like Mucinex and the Dayquil and things like that. It like slows down the response time. So did your training camp ever say anything about like the medication having that kind of effect?
No. I have a good buddy of mine and teammate who is a nurse, told me to stay away from Sudafed because of whatever's in it affects your heart rate and increases it, like makes it like jump up real high. I'm assuming that maybe why people used to use it to make meth. I don't know, but he told me to stay away from that. So I asked him, I said, "Is Mucinex DM okay?" Because I know that works well for me. And he goes, "Yes, it doesn't have the same stuff in it." I was like, okay. So like I stayed away from everything except Mucinex DM. And I made sure, like I interrogated the Walgreens employee to find out. I was like, this cough syrup, I said, this doesn't have anything that's going to make me sleepy or sluggish or anything, right? And she's like, no, it's for people that have to work. I was like, okay. So, I mean, I never felt sluggish or anything like that. I mean, but my adrenaline was also pumping through the fight. So, I mean, maybe it kind of leveled it out if that's the case.
I got to say, listen, you guys are tough as nails. You got to deal with colds, sicknesses, injuries, and then you got to go in there and try to beat up another human being. I don't know how the hell you do it. Is there any day you wake up and be like, what am I doing with myself? Do you ever think, why can't I just work a 9 to 5? Or are you like, I love this job?
It's actually the opposite. It's what you just said. It's so I actually told my boss that today. So like I usually take off like that Thursday and Friday, and then I take off that following Monday to just kind of recover. Mm-hmm. And it's always me coming back home after training and realizing on that Monday night, because I no matter what, if I'm beat up, bloody, whatever, I'm gonna be at the gym Monday night. Regardless, I mean, my teammates, they've put me through camp and everything. I'm gonna be there just to show my face if I can't do anything else. But I come home on Monday nights and I'm like, damn, like, I got to go back to this damn, like you said, 9 to 5. I'm like, I can't wait for the day that all I do is I wake up and I go punch people for a living. Like, that's still the dream. That's been the dream since I started this, 8 years ago. I wasn't destined to work at a desk. I wasn't destined to do anything else. I was born to fight. I mean, that's what I truly believe I was built for. And all I've been doing for the last 8 years is trying to find who I needed to beat to prove to somebody that it was worth paying me enough to just let me do that.
Kaleb Harris is live with the MMA-Holes, complete badass, another knockout, 2 in a row. And this man, God knows where you're going. I mean, you're going up. That's where we know. I noticed something online, this rumbling going on. There's two bare knuckle organizations out there, and Mr. Feldman and Shamrock were kind of back and forth here. Is this real, or am I seeing things here?
I saw a little bit of it. I actually only saw where somebody else had screenshotted and posted that they wanted to see it happen. David Feldman versus Ken Shamrock, bare knuckle, fight. I'm like, number one, I don't see these guys doing that ever.
Is it me, or is David Feldman, would he die? I mean, I feel like Ken Shamrock, even though he's ancient, he's a big mongoloid.
I heard that Feldman's dad was a pro boxer, and I think Feldman was a pro boxer back in the day. So I mean, I'm not sure. He kind of walks and moves kind of like he's he has that kind of swag that like he's been the fighter, not just the guy that deals with fighters. So I don't know, but yeah, there's Ken Shamrocks, and he's had one show now, I think. Mm-hmm. Their promotion's a little different. Like I know Mark Godbeer is their heavyweight champion now, and he had to fight twice in one night. And they have a platform, instead of it being a raised platform, they fight almost in like in a bowl. Like it's almost at a small angle and coming up, and I don't know how I'd feel about that. That seems like I might slip and fall, but.
So what are you saying? I didn't get a chance. I think it's like Valor or something. Valor Bare Knuckle, or I'm not sure the name of it.
Valor Bare Knuckle or something like that.
Yeah, I didn't see. So you're saying the middle is what? It's indented, or?
From what I remember seeing,
that'd be hilarious. To kill each other in the middle.
Yeah, it's almost like an old gladiator ring, I guess. But I do remember that there's they're on a raised platform enough, because I remember watching Mark Godbeer knock a dude and him actually fall off. Like there's no ropes.
Oh, okay.
So he actually fell off of the ring, and I was like, that might be something that they need to do. But I mean, as of right now, Bkfc is pretty much like the bare knuckle in the States. I mean, I know you got BKB over in Europe, and I'd like to see some of them guys come over here, and I don't know, depending on what BKFC wants to do with me, I mean, I'd like to go over there and fight, just because I've never been to Europe, so I'd love to go over there and fight some of them guys.
That would be fun to watch.
In fact, my last opponent went and fought over there. That's why I was looking kind of funny in the ring. They said he was undefeated at 1-0. I'm like, no, you're 1-1. I don't know why you told him that, but because I watched him fight back in September.
Oh, no kidding.
And, yeah, he got knocked out by Smudger Smith in BKB over in Europe. So
do you see weird things happening? I mean, listen, I'm not saying anything bad about the organization. I mean, this is who you work for now, and I love the product. I think the product's great. But when you see a fight like put together where Johnny Bedford is fighting a felony Charles Bennett, who's on like a 15-fight losing streak, and no hands, right? His hands are completely done from his last fight over there. And, Johnny Bedford's the 135 champion. He's never lost. You see things like that happen, like matchup-wise. Do you think there's something a little bit that it should be a little bit more controlled with the matchmaking?
Like a ranking system?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would love to see a ranking system made, but I don't want to see it done like the UFC.
Okay.
If BKFC does end up having a ranking system, I want there to be a third party that runs it, because that decides who gets a title shot, who fights who next. Because like with felony, like you said, man, Johnny was 4-0, title holder. Johnny was moving up a weight class, but felony was a name, which is actually what I'm looking for. I don't care who or what, but I don't agree that it all should be about the money fight. Like, I believe the money fight should be the guys that are 3, 4, 5-0 in a brand new sport, and you're trying to get to them. It shouldn't have to be just because somebody's a big name, like Jim Allers is 3-0 in bare knuckle at 155. Johnny Bedford's 5-0. Those guys should be the big fights people are wanting to fight, because they are the ones that they have a big name. They're former UFC guys, but like with Felony, like they knew that was going to sell tickets. They knew Felony he's got a YouTube channel, right? And he's got like what, 1 million followers. So
he's got a big Instagram following, but I mean, in Russia, he's huge. Like the Russians love him. His YouTube channel is growing quickly, and definitely follow. We have him featured on our channel over here. Felony.
I think it's just Felony Charles Bennett.
Is that it? Felony.
Yeah.
It's featured on our channel, so go check it out. Subscribe. And Kaleb, if you wanna just veg out, subscribe to this guy's channel. I mean, you've never seen anything like it. The guy's out of his mind.
Grab some popcorn.
I believe it. I'll definitely check it out.
It's crazy.
But yeah, man, like right now, bare knuckle's still young. And I mean, I'm young in the sport professionally, and even I know that right now they're doing what it takes to keep themselves in the news and with big fights. So like, you know, Jason and Artem, and then, you know, yes, Jason and Artem 3, a lot of people would kind of want to see, but I mean, Knight put on a really great, and I love Artem. Like Artem is a cool dude. He's nothing like Conor, like I thought he was going to be. But Knight proved that Knight was the better fighter. So the only reason they would make a third is just because they could sell it as a trilogy. Really, I want to see Jason fight somebody new.
Okay.
Because that's either going to improve and decide that he's going to become the face of bare knuckle along with his name, or it's not, you know. And but that's just a little young professional fighter's opinion, I guess. But
so how about this? How about you snag a belt, right? We need to make the 165-pound belt. You say is yours, right? That's you're going to be the champ in 2020, correct?
That's right.
That's when they can make the ranking system. When you snag that belt, then they all have to line up behind you. How's that sound?
I would love that, man. That's what I'm hunting for. I mean, there's a lot of guys out there that are 3-0. There's a couple of guys in my weight division or can fight in my weight division that are 3-0. So and I've actually made a phone call to the matchmaker. Bare knuckle's got a fight in Florida sometime in February. They don't have a date. They don't have a venue set yet. But I went ahead and I've been tagging them in post. And I mean, I'm healed up for the most part. My knuckle's a little sore still, but that'll be gone in a day. I'm healthy. I'm ready to get back into fight camp. And I told him, I was like, 2020 is the year of the line. So I mean, I'm ready to go wherever they need me to go and prove a point. So hopefully we'll be back on here at some point talking about me fighting in February down in the Sunshine State.
Is there anyone like that you want to say right now, this is the person I want to fight? This is the way I'm going to get to that belt. Is there anyone on the top of your head? Off the top of your head?
That's the problem. I don't know a lot of the guys that are at 165. Me and Isaac Valley Flag have like we talk back and forth a lot on Facebook. And it's all mutual respect. But we've talked about how we would be a fun fight. For him, I'm not really a name that I mean, I know Isaac will fight anybody. And for me, it would be a good shot because he has a name. I think he's 3-0 in I think he's 3-0 with Bkfc, and it would be a good name for me. And I know he's looking for a fight. We'll see, but I know for a fact that he's in my division, and we laugh and joke that it would just be a fun fight, and that we're gonna get, we're gonna get drunk afterwards get drinks afterwards. And there was at one point he laughed at my Facebook post because I'm a big Christmas music lover. Like I'm that guy that plays Christmas music after Halloween. So, if you got a problem with that, you just have to fight me over it.
I got a problem, but I'm not fighting.
You got to fight him then. He hates it.
She loves Christmas. Yeah.
He's like I was listening to Christmas music on the way over home tonight, but he made a post. He said, "Oh, you're one of them guys. Yeah, we definitely got to fight now." I was like, "Don't tempt me, bro. I'll walk out to Jingle Bells rocking a Santa hat. Fight you."
If we made a walkout song for you, would you walk out to it?
Well, considering I've seen some of your songs, I don't know about that.
All right, we'll throw a couple your way. Let's see if we should come up with some songs for Kaleb. What do you think? Let's see if he accepts. That'd be great.
I don't believe in a lot of juju, but like my walkout song for Bare Knuckle has been my walkout song.
Oh, okay,
since
fair.
I started this. But I will forever now be weighing in the MMA-Holes shirt. And anytime y'all get new shirts and send them my way, I will definitely rep the brand. I love being on this show. Like I couldn't wait to get home just to talk to you guys about this fight. This fight marks another page in the books that I'm getting closer to realizing a dream that I've been chasing for a long time. And I'm trying to build my fan base now, and you guys have helped me out a lot. And it's been a great ride so far, and I can't wait to see where the next road ends.
We're super proud of you, and we have some questions from the chat over here. So
let's do it.
Let's move over to the Jesse side of things. Jess, what do we got?
All right. Sean Hart says, would you welcome knees in the clinch for BKFC?
Look, they could turn around and say new rules. We're doing bare knuckle kickboxing, and I'd be all over it.
Okay.
Like, I mean,
I didn't expect that.
I'm not scared of it any of it anymore. I mean, I was in MMA for 8 years where I got knees and kicked and everything else without any gear on. So, I mean, at this point, I'm just waiting for the day that they take the MMA gloves off and they turn all bare knuckle.
I'm down. I want to see that.
All right, let's see. Sean Hart says, would you fight Jason Knight?
Again, I will fight anybody that they offer me. Like I that's just the way my team and the way I am. I never turn down a fight. I've got guys that are like 1 and 3 talking noise on Instagram, that say they want to fight me, and I'm like, it's not my fault that bare knuckle won't, but for Jason Knight, the only way we can make that fight work is if we fought at 55. And he just said on there with you guys that that's not something he's wanting to do because he walks around at 57. Right. I walk around at 80. I can't make 45. Mm-hmm. So, okay. If they offered it at 55, yes, I would say yes. But, that's just not how the business is going to work.
Fair enough. Jean-Paul Lescote says, did you game plan the KO in your last fight, or did it just happen?
I mean, I told people for like 2 weeks that I was taking his head off in the second round, but when I really started to see as he started dropping more and more in the first round, I literally came back to my corner and I told him, I said, it's going to end in the second. And I didn't know when, but I knew that he was going down for good in the second. I didn't know it was going to be that spectacular and that it was going to be shot across the world overnight, but I mean, I knew it was going to happen.
We noticed that the body shots were there, and you took advantage of it. Did you find anything different with hitting them to the body, working the body?
Yes. He had a weird style. Talking about this last one, he had a weird stance. He was leaning really far back, so I was head hunting at the beginning and went back in there and my corner was like, you need to start working the body, start working that right hand to the body. And that's actually ended up how I dropped Jeff was I would throw the right hand to the body and then I would connect with the left hook to a straight right, and that's ended up how he went down.
There you go.
I just saw Flat Earth Egan in the chat said, tell Lil Chuck he's my favorite BKFC fighter.
That's what's up.
Post as directed says, does he watch NASCAR?
No, I don't. I am not this generic backwoods redneck. I have my southern qualities, but I don't watch football, I don't watch NASCAR, and I don't drink beer. I drink whiskey, which is what I just finished, and I watch fighting. That's pretty much it.
That was a whole glass of whiskey you just drank?
No. It was whiskey and Coke. But...
Oh, Jesus Christ. I thought that was like...
He's not your level yet.
I know. Getting lit up on the show. All right. Let's see. NH says, would you ever hang out with Felony and smoke or drink with him?
I'd have to bring my own... If I ever was to smoke with him, I wouldn't smoke anything he offered me. Like, I would have to see it be rolled, and I would have to see the whole process just to make sure he wasn't going to think this would be funny to get this white boy fucked up.
All right.
But I would definitely drink with him for sure, though.
Who is one fighter that you just want to hang out with? Like, not fight against. Who you want to hang out with, like, fighter-wise?
Cowboy Cerrone. Like, I mean, he's literally, like, I say it all the time, he's my favorite fighter, but, like, if you watch his Instagram when he's not fighting, he's either spending time with his family and his little boy, or he's out riding BMX bikes, you know, ramping sand dunes and dune buggies. I think they did my guy that I know, Brandon Davis, he went out there and trained with him several times. And, like, literally they had a news crew with Cowboy that supposedly he flipped his truck while they were out riding around in the desert. And he just climbs up, sits on his truck, and they're like, well, what's going to happen? He's like, I'm going to call a wrecking, my guy over here. He's going to winch it over, and we're going to drive home. Like, Cowboy just seems like the guy that I would love to hang out with and just have fun.
That's awesome. That is awesome. And will be NH in the chat is a big Cowboy fan. We gave her a Cowboy bobblehead, and she's probably completely soaking wet hearing that story.
Let's see. Kainoda says, while you're in a fight, how much of an impact does the fear of breaking your hand have on your performance?
I don't think about that kind of stuff during the fight. Now, leading up to it, I've thought about it a lot, and we basically fixed that from me fighting Stevenson to me fighting Vistante. I don't aim for anything above the nose. Like, I aim for right below the nose and down. Now, with Jeff, the way he tucked his head and everything in the clinch, I ended up hitting him a lot on the side of the head, which is why my knuckles are a little sore. But my hands are nowhere, like, if y'all can see, my hands are completely unswollen now. Like, it was swole for like 2 days. I drank a Mountain Dew and it was gone. So, you know, I'm a firm believer in the Mountain Dew cure. Just putting that out there for the world.
I notice a lot of fighters drink Mountain Dew. It's so weird. I've noticed that, actually.
I've not noticed that.
Yeah.
Man, I've been drinking Mountain Dew since I could drink anything other than formula. I just put it down during fight camps. I pick it right back up as soon as we're done.
Well, there you go. The nectar, the sweet nectar of Mountain Dew. I noticed in the chat, Flat Earth Deacon says, ask Caleb to do the 50 likes with us. Have you ever heard of the 50 like song?
No.
Okay, so every time we get 50 likes and we miss the first 50, we fist pump as the song plays. Would you like to do it along with us?
Let's do it, man.
Since we have an MMA hole here, what do you think, Jesse?
All right. All right.
Here we go.
Well,
we grab.
Means I got to be a friend, right, Jesse?
Of course you're a friend.
He's in. All right, here we go. We're gonna play this song. We need you to fist pump. We're gonna break out the weights. These big ass weights over here. We go.
Work out while you do it.
Work out the shoulders.
Oh.
All right, here we go.
I've got 50 likes. You got 50 likes.
We got 50 likes.
MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You got 50 likes.
We got 50 likes.
MMA-Holes 50 likes. I've got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. We got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes.
Yes.
The dislikes can choke on a dick.
Okay, only 7 dislikes. There you go. Caleb, you were the first fighter to come on and do the 50 like. The whole chat is erupting with emojis right now with the likes.
Hell yeah.
I bet all the other fighters we've had on the show, they're all jealous now. They've never done the 50 like dance.
Yeah, look at that. All right, it's official.
I'm always going to be the first to try just about anything. I mean, I'm not scared to look like an idiot. I've looked like an idiot my whole life, so it's nothing new to me. I'm a little worried that some of my boys are going to probably see that, and this is going to become a gift that gets hit with the group chat, but it'll be worth it.
Well, I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but Vigo in the chat says this will go down in history.
My name is cemented in life now.
I got to give you credit. You're a good sport.
Justin Jr. says, LOL, let me rewind.
I have a feeling this will be, this is going to be all over our website. This might become a donation. This could be in the intro, for God's sakes. Who knows?
Let's do it, man. That'd be awesome.
All right, anything else from the chat, Jess?
All of the rest of them were kind of covered, except Flat Earth Deacon wants to know what your day job was. You previously mentioned you coming home from work or something like that, and he wants to know what your day job is.
So, I've been working for a mental health facility as a ground maintenance guy for the last 3 years. I work for the state. So I basically do like landscaping. If you actually go on my Facebook page, there's a little video clip of my boss recording me as I rip a dead bush. It was obviously dead and already broken at the roots, but I like rip a dead bush up out of the ground. I'm like, bare knuckle fighters don't need tools, and toss the bush off. But I bush hog. I run equipment, just stuff like that, and it's just a good job for me to be able to go train, and it's got decent benefits.
We're looking for the video.
Yeah, I'm trying to find it right. I think I liked it. I think I saw it online, but I'm having a brain fart here. Anyway, go follow Kaleb Harris. He is all over the interwebs. He's a superstar.
So close to breaking 1,000 followers on Instagram.
All right, so awesome.
8 followers away.
There we go. Lionheart2193. Who's on the IG in the chat? Go give him a follow. Lionheart2193. I'm going to put it up on the screen right here. Go follow him on Instagram. Say hello. Slap some hearts on his things. What do you think about Instagram looking to get rid of the hearts? What do you think about that?
What would be the point? And
that's what I said.
Like, how do you like stuff then? I mean, what are they going to do? Swap out for like Facebook where you have emojis? That'd be the only decent thing I know to do.
Yeah.
It's so weird. It really is. They're pussifying America. That's what it is.
Amen.
Anyway, what do you think? Are you a flat earther?
No, the Earth is round. We discovered that back in what? 1490. I don't even know. I've forgotten my history. I know Christopher Columbus figured out the Earth was round. So.
There's a guy in the chat called Flat Earth Deacon who's gonna.
Oh yeah, he follows me and likes everything. So all respect to him, but
you might have a fight.
The Earth is round.
I think we just found your next opponent. Flat Earth Deacon, Kaleb Harris. Make it happen, bare knuckle. What do you say? All right, we'll try it out. Anyway, Kaleb, listen, this was a lot of fun. Listen, you're always invited back on. If we have any other segments or something, we're thinking about doing some fighter segments, like I'm just tossing ideas around, and it would be fun. We'll drag you on, Jason on, other fighters on as well, and just have like little bits, and maybe we'll have you sitting on the news one day or something like that. Or if you're in the East Coast, you know who to hit up, the MMA-Holes, maybe in studio one day.
Definitely. That'd be awesome, man. I'd definitely love to do that.
There you go. It's awesome stuff. Kaleb, listen, we're running out of time right now, so now's the time to shout out the sponsors and say the last words to the Holes.
First of all, guys, I want to thank y'all for letting me be back on. I want to thank the whole community. I love having the support of the MMA-Holes backing me. I love being an MMA-Hole. I want to thank my sponsors, Primal Martial Arts Academy, ran by Dustin the Puma, Black Sails MMA, and Nami Dojo Jiu-Jitsu, Beavers Unlimited, Lyle's Machinery, Cypress Bayou Embroidery, all my other sponsors, Shelly's Electric. I couldn't have done this camp without y'all. I'm looking forward to representing y'all's brand in my next fight. And to you guys, man, I hope y'all have a God bless, and I can't wait to see the next show.
There you go. Kaleb, hey, man, congratulations. We're proud of you. We really are proud of you. And it's funny, like, we're not the normal interview show, as you could see, but we're fans. When fighters come on, we become biased. We just root for you guys. So now, anytime you fight, it doesn't matter. We're rooting for you, Kaleb. That's how this works. We're part of a family here. So
I'm glad you said that, because I meant to make a comment about something.
Yeah.
So Justin Dempsey kid, who is this kid?
Oh, just...
Oh, you did the interview.
All I know is that somehow he got my number and called me during training one night. I don't know how he got. I didn't know who it was.
Number?
I don't even have your number. Wait, hold on, Justin. What's going on here? He's in the chat.
I don't know how, but he called it. He's got like what, MMA in the morning or something. But he called me and was like wanting to set up a time, and it was so like. And now that I know that he's 12, I get it. I thought the dude was just high, to be honest with you.
How did he get your number?
He was so unorganized. And like, I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, can we do it Friday or Saturday? I'm like, I have a weigh-in Friday and Saturday. And he's like, oh yeah, that's right. So he calls me, what is it, Sunday? Yeah, it was Sunday. And tells me we're going to do this interview at 2 o'clock my time. So I'm at the house waiting on him to call me. Well, by 2:30, I'm like, all right, screw this. I'm going to get food. So I end up going and I drank like 2 beers or 2 Angry Orchards and a Jack and Coke while eating mug shots with my buddies. And so like, I'm a little buzzed. And all of a sudden my phone rings from like New Jersey or somewhere. And I answer, and he's wanting to do this interview now. And I'm like, And he's like, hold on a second. I'm all unorganized. I got to get my notes together. And like, I can barely hear the kid. And I'm like, I'm sitting there thinking like, this is the most weirdest interview ever. Like, who sets up an interview and then calls 2 hours late? And I'm like, is this dude really that baked? Like, I just didn't understand.
That's crazy.
And then I was watching y'all's show and I found out he's like 12 or 13. I'm like, that makes sense. Now I'm just kind of trying to figure out, how did a 13-year-old or a 12-year-old get my phone number?
That's what I want to know. How the fuck does he have your number?
This kid is my hero. He is my. He says he's going to be the next Ariel Helwani. He's 12 years old. He called us up once. And he's just talking business. He's all business over here.
Yeah.
He interviews Jason Knight, and his mom's vacuuming in the background. I'm like, this guy's the best. I can listen to it. And his questions, he's calling Felony his old name. You can't say that name anymore. It's like calling him the N-word, for God's sakes. He's calling him his old name. No fucks given.
I'm glad you said that, because I was trying. You said he called him the forbidden word. I literally thought you meant he called him the N-word.
No. He might as well have. Jesse, what did he call him? You want to say it?
Well, I don't want to get...
Horse.
Oh, no, he did it! Oh, shit! Oh my God! Felony, if you're watching, I did not say it.
Yeah, Felony's very particular. Like, if you say his name, like, he's hung up on interviews before because they called him his old nickname. And
he yelled out right before the fight. As he walked out, he walked over to the camera guy and the ring announcer and grabbed the mic and screamed out, "It's Felony!"
The guy's nuts.
Not to mention, did they show? I know you'll watch the fight, and I know y'all got to go. Did they show him walking out?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
with his pants off,
with his pants around his ankles, and him like hobbling with his phone. My mom was like my tables were right next to the catwalk, and my mom's just over here doing this, like refusing to look at him.
He's
the best.
Yeah.
Between him and, did you listen to the interview? I don't know if subscribe to this kid's channel. He's in the chat right now. It's Justin Jr. 962. He has your interview.
Oh, I definitely will. And Justin, I want you to know you can call me and do interviews anytime, bro. Just make sure your mom's done vacuuming first.
What would you do if you're being interviewed and all of a sudden the vacuum cleaner goes on? Do you keep going?
I'd probably just start laughing. Like, do I need to call back?
It's funny because Jason Knight, he just kind of acted like it wasn't happening. Like, you could tell he was a little like off taken by it, but he just kind of pretended it wasn't happening and went on with the interview. I would have been like, what is going on over there?
I want to hire this kid. I think this kid is gold. I really do.
This kid may have a future with the MMA-Holes. I mean,
yeah.
He may be able to become his own person instead of being the next Ariel Helwani.
Yeah.
Oh man, he is funny. He asks the questions that everyone wants to know, and then he's completely stone-faced. Like, I mean, I don't see him, but he doesn't break character. I mean, I don't know if it's a character, if he's just a kid. I have no idea. But
honestly, I think that's just his personality.
He's so funny.
I think he's just like that, very dry, like to the point, ask really horrible questions, but at the same time they're great. I think he's just.
And he has your number. That's the best.
And that was the thing. Like, after I got off the phone, I was like, wait a minute, I didn't even ask. How did they get my number?
That is bizarre. Imagine he got the numbers to everyone else he interviewed.
Well, he had Felony's number apparently. He got Felony.
Oh, Felony gave his number out though.
How did he get Jason's?
I don't know how he got Jason's number.
Kid's good.
He must have done some serious research, because I've given out my number before, like on Facebook, because of fights, and I wanted people to send me pictures.
Guaranteed.
So maybe that's where he got it. That's all I can think, because if not, somebody gave my number out, which I don't really feel all that comfortable with.
Yeah, you're gonna be changing your number a lot of times, I have a feeling. Man, I tell you what, and Justin, you just got he goes research. That's what he said in the chat. He just got a major plug. So Justin. Cool. I don't know.
As long as he got my phone hacked or something.
Kid's business. He's old business. Well, anyway. All right. So, Kaleb, back to the sponsors again. I don't know if you got them all out, but go for it.
I got them all out, man. And anybody out there that's looking for a local, looking for a business and wants to be interested in sponsoring a fighter.
Oh, by the way,
I'm your guy.
I might have someone for you right now. Check this out. Now, shout out to this company who just donated over here. And let's play the donation. This is from Mystic Roots.
Super chat.
Wow, good timing over here. Oh, shit.
It says, it's not reading it.
Hold on, we'll play it again. What does it say?
It says, get the man some hemp flour for post-fight recovery. Great fight, Kaleb.
So Mystic Roots.
Hey, I'm down.
We might have, I don't know if you have a CBD sponsor, but Mystic Roots is great.
I don't. I use CBD, but it's usually I just go to the local store or something and buy it. But I've been actually hunting for a CBD company that wants to sponsor fighters because I'm your guy. Like, I mean, y'all see my social media. I mean, anybody that sponsors me, I do work for them, you know, so even inside and outside of fight camp.
Now, we have Timeless CBD over here. They're great. We love Timeless CBD, and then we have a promo code MMA-Hole, link in the description. But I think he's done sponsoring fighters. He's basically cutting off on that. He's just got us and a couple of fighters. So, Mystic Roots, if you want to sponsor a fighter, we got a guy right over here. Right over here, Kaleb Harris. Lionheart, 2 knockouts, putting people to sleep. And not in the wrong way, the right way. I mean, he's just killing people. So, Kaleb, let's make that happen.
You will never have a boring fight with me. I can promise the world that regardless of win or lose, it will never be a boring fight with me fighting.
Well, I mean, the proof's in the pudding. We've been watching, even the first fight in Bare Knuckle, it was fun to watch. You really bring it every time you fight. So we are looking forward to seeing the future. And 2020 champ of Bare Knuckle sitting right in front of us right now. Jesse, how do you feel about that?
I always feel wonderful about that.
There you go.
Wonderful.
There you go. Kaleb, can you give us a wonderful, please?
It's wonderful, baby.
Yeah, there you go.
Wonderful.
We got to get a
Soundbite that.
Yeah, someone clip that. All right, Kaleb, thank you again, and looking forward to having you back on in the near future.
Can't wait to be back on, man. Y'all have a good night.
Take care.
All right, you too. Kaleb Lionheart Harris with the MMA-Holes. What do you think in the chat? Good guy. Good peoples. Jesse, what do you think?
Good peoples.
Yeah, Justin Jr. got a nice little plug over there. Dude, I'm telling you, man. Listen.
All right, let's stop sucking off Justin Jr. now. Jesus.
I'm not sucking him off.
I'm going to eat my banana muffin.
I had a great time tonight. 2 for 2 with the guests, Kaleb Harris and Jason Knight. Excuse me, Justin. Hello, now Justin, get the hell out of here. You stuck in my head. Jason the Kid Knight, who had both of them had spectacular knockouts.
Yeah.
Bare Knuckle FC is great. I love the sport. Now we have some news stories over here, and thank you to the donators. We really appreciate you guys who did donate. We couldn't play them during the interviews, but afterwards we did play them. And you guys are very generous, keeping us going and flowing here. Let's look at a couple of the stories. We'll do a rapid fire. You don't have to read the articles. Just go through the topics real quick. We'll get through the stories, get the hell out of here, and that's that. While Jesse is doing that, I'll say hello to the chats. Felony gives his number out all the time. Yeah, he just changed it again. We don't have his number anymore, Felony. If you want to come back on, you know what to do. Vigo Stockholm, you dream about J Smooth BBC, bro. Okay.
Wonderful.
That was a fucking proper, wonderful baby defo soundbite. All right, Jesse, what do we have in the news?
Well, Khabib has been ripping on Conor McGregor, saying we don't pay attention to idiots. Basically saying that they're more focused on Tony Ferguson right now, and they're kind of pushing Conor to the side. So anything Conor decides to say, they don't give a fuck about.
Yep, they don't give a fuck because the fight's not happening. You know, I mean, I'm sure that he'll be like, yo, we're going to get paid again, let's go. But that's not happening right now. That is not the fight for McNugget. What is the fight? There's another story about that. Let's go there. Ferguson? No, I'm talking about... I know you have it over here. Do you have it over here?
Yeah, it was Conor Cowboy. Yep, the managers have confirmed that him versus Cowboy. It's still a work in progress, as they're calling it, but it's pretty much official for January.
So Conor Cowboy. All right, let me know in the chat, who do you have if this fight does happen? It looks like it's a go. It looks like finally we're going to get to see Conor versus Cowboy. Some people don't care. I care. Of course I care. Jesse, do you care?
Yes, because I love Conor fights because they're great nights for us.
They are. It's Red Panty night for the MMA-Holes. Now, who do you pick in that fight? NH is going to be watching you contently right now. She's looking at you. Who do you pick, Conor?
I want to say Cowboy because Conor's been out for so long, and all he does is get himself into trouble. And even when he's training, he doesn't look like the same kind of Conor. But I think after his fight with Khabib, he has no choice but to prove himself. So he might come back much better. And Cowboy not doing so well when it comes to the results of his fights. So, oh shit, that's tough. That's tough.
You know who I'm picking.
Like foot was a balloon.
That's right, baby. Back in this saddle. I don't care. Long layoff. Very tough fight. Very, very tough fight because Cowboy's at least been active. So, but you know where I'm going with that. I think Kainoto wins. That's what I think. What do we got with fucking Kutia Darrent Till? What do we got here?
Fucking Kutia. Darrent Till has revealed that he was blind drunk when calling out Yoel Romero after his UFC 244 win, So he's basically saying that he remembers the next morning he woke up and his girl was on the couch.
My foot was up on the arm.
No, it wasn't him. It was.
And she told him that he called Yoel out. So he went onto Google and got the monkey eyes and told some guy to add when you wake up and realize you called out Yoel, which was that meme that he posted. And he said, everyone knows when I'm going on a tirade on Twitter, because I'm having a drink. It's never normal. I'm having fun. So he's basically backing out of his call out of Yoel Romero.
All right. So there we go. And I think any normal human being would back out of that.
Well, except for Adesanya.
Except for Izzy, right? He's a style bender, right? He's got this, right, Jesse?
Yep.
Okay. And what do we have here with Kamaru Usman, Colby Covington, UFC 245, which is not very far away.
It's not. This isn't a big story. They're just trying to get people hyped up for the fight that's coming up. They've got the referees and the judges selected for the 3 title fights for UFC 245, if you want to know who they are. You probably won't recognize
Herbivore Dean, is he involved? Dan Murgliata?
Well,
what do we got?
Goddard was assigned as the referee to the main event.
Okay, he's good.
With Derek Cleary, Sal D'Amato, and Eric Colin serving as the judges. Goddard worked Usman's last fight as well when he defeated Tyron Woodley, so Goddard is familiar with an Usman fight. Jason Herzog will serve as the referee in the featherweight fight, Max Holloway versus Alexander Volkanovski. Their judges will be Mike Bell, Junichiro Kamijo, and Chris Lee. They will be scoring that fight. And for the Amanda Nunes versus Jermaine Durandamy title fight, Keith Peterson will be the referee, overseeing the action in the bantamweight fight. Their judges will be Dave Hagen, Ron McCarthy, and Sal D'Amato.
Okay. So there's your refs. Look at that. Now everyone can relax. Uh-oh, boobies. Cyborg.
Yeah.
This is number 1 bullshit.
She took a topless photo shoot featuring a new look. As the former UFC champ. She posted it on Instagram. And, it said, quote, "You are so beautiful. From the old days of Brazil until now, you have never changed. You are my authentic and genuine friend that inspires me. I love you and I'm so happy for you. Being respected in your new organization has already opened new doors and you have never been afraid of change. You have always invited change in life's most difficult challenges. You are my champion and I will always have a beautiful place in my heart for you. Women worldwide love and support you. You inspire us with courage to pass through our fears. I will be there with you at your Bellator MMA debut in January to love and support you in this next chapter of life."
Is it weird seeing Cyborg with breasts? Are you weirded out by this?
No, because she's a woman. What do you mean?
No, I'm just saying it's just weird, right? She's very
I like it. It brings out the feminine side of her, kind of, and I think they kind of did it for a reason because people always make the man jokes, and she's made mention about how she notices. So they probably, her whole team put it together and kind of brought out the feminine look in her, and I like it.
Okay.
I like it. All right. According to MMA Fighting, the suspect that they had in custody for the kidnapping of Walt Harris's stepdaughter, Anaya, he has been charged and denied bond. He's been ordered to submit to DNA testing. So
that guy that we were showing the pictures of?
Ibrahim Yazid.
Okay.
Yeah. He has been ordered to submit DNA testing, so we will await the results of that.
So wait, let me get this straight, though. DNA testing. So what are they looking for?
So they found DNA of another person in Anaya's car.
Okay.
And they're going to try and match Yazid's DNA with the DNA they found in the car, as well as,
Oh, my God.
And they're going to try, and they've already matched Anaya's DNA with the blood found in his car.
And still no signs of this girl.
And no signs of her, but he has been charged without bond.
Oh, this story is nauseating to listen to. It is, oh, my God. Jesus Christ. So still not, how long has this been now?
It's been, I would say it's been almost a month. When was she last?
Oh, God. What do you do? Like, if you're part of this family.
October 24th was when she was first reported missing, so it's been about a month.
Oh, they got to be numb. They have to be numb right now. Think about, don't think about it. Just, fuck.
I do, in case, I'm sure everybody's heard about this, but if you guys don't know who to contact and you are in that area, or if you do have any sort of information that you know, there is an anonymous tip line. It's 334-246-1391, or a 24-hour non-emergency number, which is 334-501-3100. So you can leave anonymous tips if you have any to help out with finding Anaya Blanchard.
Now, Chrome T Dome says she dead, Moss. I did make mention of that the last stream, and I got lit on fire. So, Chrome, come on. For God's sakes. It's not a joking matter here. It just doesn't look good. Let's just say that. It doesn't look good. Do you think that's what the family thinks? Do you think they just automatically... I mean, what do you what do? You got to keep your hopes up, of course, but then after a while, you're like, okay...
I'm not a parent, so I can't imagine what they're going through as parents. But God. I could only think that if it was my child, of course, the worst goes through your head, but you don't want to think that way.
I can't even look at the picture. I want to vomit. It's terrible.
Yeah.
It really is. I always have uncalled for jokes, but the more you look at that picture and you see those two standing together, I feel so horrible for their family. All right, let's move on. If we're gonna go to let's go to Greg Hardy. A fitting person to go to after.
Well, after UFC Moscow,
I think Greg Hardy did it. I think he's the one. Why don't they check his DNA? Don't you? Right? Greg Hardy might be the one. Do you think he's a suspect?
I'm not gonna jump into that one.
No? Okay.
Wonderful.
All right,
I went there.
There were some UFC Moscow injuries, of course, and some medical suspensions. And Greg Hardy has been hit with an extended sit due to a hand injury. So it looks like we're not going to be seeing the Prince of War back for quite some time. He got 180 days, or clear right hand wrist X-ray, and mandatory 30 days and 21 days no contact. So it's going to be a while before we see Hardy back in the cage, perhaps 4 months.
Well, listen, I'm excited to see him come back. I think he did very good against Volkov. I think he did good. He on short notice, he took the L, but still he put on a good performance. I was surprised.
Yeah.
I was very surprised. So I'm looking forward to see what he's got next.
Yep.
Gregory Hardy. Oh, look at this dreamy man. What do we got with Luke Rockhold?
Luke Rockhold says, right now, I'm just happy not fighting. So
Rook. Hey, Rook.
Luke Rockhold had some choice words when it comes to the UFC and to fighting, in general. He said fighting takes a lot. He's been at the top of the game. He just doesn't have the same passion or the hunger for it at this point. So he's excited to go into other realms of his life. He knows he has lots of fans out there, and he's sorry he's not fighting, but you never know. Maybe someday he will, but he doesn't foresee it at this point.
I just saw something come up with Luke Rockhold fighting somebody in another organization. The hell?
I suppose.
What the fuck?
I suppose it's a tease.
No, he's on a poster.
Maybe it's just for the UFC he's talking
about. No. Oh, yeah. I saw him. I don't know if it's a... What the fuck? Someone put a poster together. I mean, it could be fake. I don't know.
Yeah, it could be a fake poster.
Man, I wish I would have pulled it. It's too much work for me to get it. Now I'm too tired. All right.
Last one.
I love you.
Yes. Yoel Romero, shockingly enough, is still gunning for a title shot versus Israel Adesanya, saying he's still hungry. He said, quote, Israel is not sleeping. When he goes to bed and sleeps, he says, I need to fight this guy. I need to fight him because I need in myself, I need in my spirit, in my soul to say I am the world champion, because he knows the real champion middleweight. Everybody knows who it is. Israel, push. I'll see you soon, boy.
Where is Johnny Bones Jones? Did you guys see this? Where is he? Oh, what am I doing? There's no H in John's name. I should know this by now. Where is it? Oh, fuck. He didn't put it up? Oh, Jackson Wink probably did it. Let's see. Jackson Wink. Where's the video? Ah, shit. Oh, here it is. Okay. Did you guys see this?
Look at this lion. He's the king of the jungle. He's so big. He's so hot. Now, the little lion comes.
I don't know what that's from, but look at these two. Jesse, what do you think about this?
Gaylord.
Hold on, let me get a little closer for the people to see. I don't know if you guys saw this post, but here's John Jones hanging out with Yoel Romero. I mean, are they on a roid party or what's going on here? Where are they going? And why is John Jones driving around with his shirt off? What the hell is that about? With another man in the car. Like, that's kind of weird, no? Why is John's shirt off while he's driving?
He looks like he just got done training. He's got sweat all over his forehead.
Well, maybe the video's reversed and he isn't driving, right? And it's one of those reverse deals. Because I can't see. If he's driving right now with his shirt off and staring right into a camera, it's not very safe. This is a perfect donation. I smell donation, friends. I smell donation. By the way, Jesse, what do you think of our brand new donation?
Love it.
You love it?
Gotta love it.
I love it too. Rest in peace, Artem Lobov donation. Choo choo, motherfuckers, was wonderful, wonderful.
Wonderful.
But now our $2 donation has an upgrade, and it is Jason the Kid Knight fighting in a bathroom stall. So thank you. Who was the first person to do it?
I think it was an OG MMA hole.
An OG MMA hole. So whoever an OG MMA hole is, you are the first person to do the brand new donation. The bathroom stall, Jason the Kid Knight. All right, we're going to take a couple of comments from the 5 more likes, guys, and we're out of here. A couple more comments from the chat and we're out of here. We're out of skedaddle. By the way, Bare Knuckle FC. What are you hitting me for?
No, I was...
What are you knocking into me for? You trying to knee me? Bare Knuckle FC, it's not going to get the most views, the most ratings, but I like promoting the sport. I love it. It's kind of a selfish thing, you know? We're not clickbaiting with the UFC and all that other, Conor McGregor, Khabib, all that bullshit. We could have went that route, but tonight we wanted to devote it to Bare Knuckle because I loved the fights on Saturday. And we did a poll, and 58% of the MMA holes rather watch Bare Knuckle over the UFC last weekend. So it just goes to show you that the people like watching that sport. One more like. We beat the ceiling. Let's go. One more like. One more like. One more like. Jesse, one more like. Put it in the box. One more. Hey, yeah, wonderful.
Wonderful.
Let's go.
I've got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes.
Yeah!
I've got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes.
I've got
50 likes. You got 50 likes. You got 50 likes. MMA-Holes 50 likes. The dislikes can choke on a dick.
Now, Kaleb Harris, who was on the show, if you missed the interviews, him, Jason Knight, run it back. He sounded a little nervous about us writing the song for his walk. Yeah,
Rightfully so.
I think we could put together a masterpiece for him.
Yeah.
I think so. We'll say, what genre do you like? Would you want to put it together?
Well, he's not going to use it. So.
No. All right.
He's
Any fighters want us to do their
superstitious guy.
walkout song? I had a walkout song for myself that I put together that was hilarious.
Did you really?
Yeah.
For what?
Walking to a Cage. I played it for you. I don't know if I have it here queued up.
Walkout song if you were to get into a fight?
Yeah. If I was going to get into a fight, I had a walkout song.
I don't remember this song.
What? Oh, you going to make me look for it now?
Yeah, I'd love to hear this. You made yourself a walkout song?
Oh, fuck yeah. Actually, look in for Walking to a Cage on that computer. You can email it to me. We'll play it right now. I played it for you many moons ago. Let me know if anyone, Special Face, yeah, actually walking out to Special Face. Perfect cameraman. I would walk out to that, of course. Walking to a Cage. Look for the... You got it?
Which one?
Oh, fuck.
The most recent?
It's got to be the most recent.
There's April and there's a February.
Which is the most recent? Email me the most recent one.
April 7:50 p.m.
It's probably not mixed right, but you'll get the idea. Whatever's the most recent.
This one.
Whatever's the most recent, email it. I'll play it right now. Any OGs in the chat remember that song?
Oh, I gotta hear this.
It's really bad. And when did I make that? February of what? What is it? What's the date on? 2017. Oh. Only a couple of years ago. Walking to a Cage. Maybe he can walk out to that. I hope. Wow! Imagine he walks out to Walking to a Cage. Oh, that would be beautiful.
I feel like you did show me, and I just don't remember it.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar.
Okay. Now you got to give it a second. You got to let it go. Okay, because there's a
little...
little...
you can't say anything. Don't pause it and say anything. Let's just hear it all the way through, Moss.
All right, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, this is for the new Gs. Only OGs.
Wait, you know what we should do? I should say, don't be an a-hole, be an MMA hole, and then we close it out with this song.
We could do that. I just burped into the mic.
Yeah, you want to do that?
We could do that.
Yeah, let's close it out with this song, Moss.
No, I can't end the show like that.
Why?
Because I got to do the end screens and all that bullshit.
So play the song and then do the outro. Play the song. Outro. Don't be an a-hole, be an MMA hole. Song, outro.
It's a lot of work.
No, it's not. Song, outro.
Can I
Just
time
get
this
the outro
right?
ready.
All right.
So I'm gonna say don't be.
We're gonna end you with this, and then this was my walkout song. Back in the day, I used to be a fighter. I bet you didn't know this.
Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.
Go!
It just broke. We just broke the internet. Holy shit. We broke the internet. Could you believe that? The song is so good that it just crashed. It just crashed the internet.
OBS didn't want you guys to hear it. All right.
Can we try it again?
Let's try one more time.
All right.
Ready?
Hold on. I gotta be ready. We just broke the internet.
All right, here we go. Don't be an a-hole. Be an MMA hole.
Go! I'm walking to a cage.
What happened?
Moss's song froze.
This song is breaking. Oh, here it is. Let's try it again.
I'm walking to a cage. Walking to a cage. I'm walking to a cage. Walking to a cage. Here I go, I'm walking to a fucking cage.
Look out, baby, here I come. I'm walking to a cage and it's really cold in here. I'm in my shorts, I should wear long pants. That's okay because I'm gonna fight. There are the ring girls, look at them walk. Pretty ass butts, can't pay attention. Gonna beat some ass in the cage. Gonna have fun and make them bleed.
I'm walking to a cage. Walking to a cage. I'm walking to a cage. Walking to a cage. Here I go, I'm walking to a fucking cage.
You thought the song was over. You are wrong. They put Vaseline on my face. Check my cup. My penis is in it. Hug my corner. About to fight. I'm really scared. I step in the cage. I circle around and look at the crowd. Hello, crowd. I'm gonna fight now. Get ready to cheer.
I'm walking to a cage. Walking to a cage. I'm walking to a cage. Walking to a cage. Go!